misrepresented the fact, whether the newspaper or the complainant, because I wrote that letter. Put time, I co-chair the Committee on Public Works. Let's challenge it tomorrow morning. Let Minister of Public Works bring a car, the value of that vehicle. And let somebody tell me it's $45,000. It's not. And we start with public works. They even sign road contract and make contractors to get a vehicle to add up to the cost of the road. So for the committee to come and say, oh, misrepresented, I don't believe that. No government official here, and I challenge it. Tomorrow morning, I'm prepared to resign from the Liberian Senate if you can prove me wrong that the car the Minister of Public Works driving is $45,000. I will publicly resign from the Liberian Senate. I challenge anybody, put on record. You go in the public and tell people that we're riding $45,000 car, and it sounds like we committed crime in this country. When people are riding 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 car. 120. Paul Ami Moda, they're probably already on the movie from there. He just saw it for that in trouble. You are all there around the same category of car. Whole public work. I will start with public works. Let the Minister of Public Works come tomorrow morning and show me his procurement order for $45,000 for the car he rides. I'll resign from the Liberian Senate. So now I can't tell us here or misrepresented. It's not true. All of them riding car money for $45,000. And the budget law says car value, the ceiling of vehicles being $45,000, let it go to the ceiling, the budget ceiling. They shouldn't tell us that they can take land, budget from other places to amend the vehicle. That's what the budget law says, say $45,000. Excluding the president, the vice president, the chief justice, the speaker, the senate pro tem, and the deputy speaker. So they should not do that to us. Let them tell us what law, what a reliance to start riding vehicles for money for the $45,000 when the budget law says for the $45,000. Thank you.
We're gonna carry it. We're gonna carry it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this care video coming to you live from the state of Guar interference here. Of course, some members believe to be Palestinian of the United Parties here and the state interference demanding for jobs. So again, we're going to share our live broadcast. This is Care Radio Network. We are broadcasting last week. Capital of our party. Of course, share our live broadcast as we broadcast from the state of Guar interference. We're gonna carry it. We're gonna carry it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this care video coming to you live from the state of Guar interference here. Of course, some members believe to be Palestinian of the United Parties here and the state interference demanding for jobs. So again, we're going to share our live broadcast. This is Care Radio Network. We are broadcasting last week. Capital of our party. Of course, share our live broadcast as we broadcast from the state of Guar interference.
Misrepresented the fact, whether the newspaper or the complainant, because I wrote that letter. Put time, I co-chair the Committee on Public Works. Let's challenge it tomorrow morning. Let Minister of Public Works bring a car, the value of that vehicle. And let somebody tell me it's $45,000. It's not. And we start with public works. They even sign road contract and make contractors to get a vehicle to add up to the cost of the road. So for the committee to come and say, oh, misrepresented, I don't believe it. No government official here, and I challenge it. Tomorrow morning, I'm prepared to resign from the Liberian Senate if you can prove me wrong that the car the Minister of Public Works driving is $45,000. I will publicly resign from the Liberian Senate. I challenge anybody, put on record. You go in the public and tell people that we're riding 45,000 car, and it sounds like we committed crime in this country. When people are riding 50, 60, 70, 80, 100,000 car, 120. Poor Ami Moda, the probably already on the moving from there, he just saw it for that he told. You got all around the same category of car, whole public work. I will start with public works. Let the minister of public work can do more money and show me his procurement order for 45,000 for the car he ride. I will resign for the Liberia Senate. So now I can't tell us here or misrepresented. It's not true. All of them riding car money for $45,000. And the budget law says car value, the ceiling of vehicles being $45,000. Let it go to the ceiling, the budget ceiling. They shouldn't tell us they can take land budget from other places to amend the vehicle. That's why the budget law says $45,000. Excluding the president, the vice president, the chief justice, the speaker, the senate pro tem, and the executive speaker. So they should not do that to us. Let them tell us what law, what a reliance to start running vehicles for money for the $5,000 when the budget law says for the $5,000. Thank you.
So welcome to closing argument here on Truth FM. At the same time on Facebook, closing argument. Just for those of you who follow us online, yeah, we say welcome to the program. This program comes on Monday to Friday. This time here up to midnight Liberia time. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock. It will come on, and our team of panelists join us between 9:30 to 10 o'clock. So Liberia time, as soon as we start getting a signal from them, and we're being on, we're getting signal from the game already. So we are here on the program. So we are back home here. Thanks to Myean, he's streaming this program live. So get on for Facebook. You can follow us live. And thanks to Myean. My name is Ansu. I'm always with the team. We are having one Monday to Friday on the closing argument. So welcome. I don't know. Today's Wednesday, right? The 19th day in March 2025. There we go. So there are a lot of things happening. Today, Liberia national team play at the SKD Sports Complex, and we, as I said, the Dearware Trophy is still the warehouse in. I don't know that we're going to finish that Dearware Trophy because every time we play, it's a Dearware. Gabriel Chief, welcome, Chief, welcome.
Thank you very much. Great topic. We are doing well. We did well again.
Yeah, we did well. They were Trophy, man. So that's it. As I was saying, our people have just politicized everything, and that's how it goes now. Today, we go to the game to play. You will hear them saying, "Yeah, this is people praying for Liberia to lose to Tunisia." I pray that Joseph Boga Lunster lost to Tunisia. I pray that George Weah Lunster lost. I don't know why we have taken politics and just overshadow, just have just overshadowed everything in this country. It just killing. Why can't we just back off for the major competition? Because other countries, they're not taking their competitions. They're like, World Cup, wow.
Well, if you look at, we have always been divided on political lines, but it got worse during the George Weah CDC 6 years. It looks like division and propaganda was on steroid. So everything from the 16 billion, the June 7, you name it, to blaming the president on Kush, drug coming into the country, everything that happened, somebody got killed. They won't blame the perpetrator. They won't blame the criminal. They will blame the president. Everything to demonize one man at the expense of the entire country. Some people had a personal vendetta with President Weah. So they didn't mind taking the country down to the gutter just to make him look bad. So that now has an extension. It's extended into the new administration, and the people to whom it was done, they are now saying, "Oh, you did this. We learned it from you. We're going to do the same thing." And this is what we are talking about. What's happening in the House? If you set a bad precedent, you can rest assured. That's why the white folks call it precedent. I mean, it's a landmark now that somebody can repeat. That's why we say, you know, when you're around children or young people, there are certain things you don't do because you don't want them to repeat it, because they saw it, you know, when you doing it, and you as a father, if you do it at home, the children will do it. In America, even in Liberia, the folks say, you know, domestic violence. We frown on domestic violence because if your children see you beating on your wife that you love, your children's mother, it tells them that it is okay when they grow up to do the same thing. So we are saying, don't do it. So when you look at the past 6 years, there were not a day in Liberia where there were not even a protest. My cousin, father cousin came into being under Georgia's administration. During Ellington, we saw some, you know, disagreement here and there, but we didn't see the denigration of women. We didn't see most of these things. But under George Weah from 2018 all the way to 2023. So here we are on this show, a gentleman that I know personally that was leading the anti-Weah movement, cussing my movement, putting fake pictures on Facebook, actually came on one of these days on the closing argument and said, I'm hoping that we will give the government a good image on the international level. These are the people who were doing, I mean, posting all these derogatory, fake there by the pictures, and I know them personally. Now they are saying, well, that we're back on, let's do so. We have to be careful as we do these things. When you set bad precedent, it's hard to, like they say, open the genie box, right? Pandora's box. Once that box is open and the genie pops up, to put it back is impossible. And this is where we are.
Exactly so. Chief Tomalin, welcome, Chief. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, man. Ansu, good to see you, Mr. Gaiman. Always good to see you. Mr. Gaiman, you always come with make the show look so nice. When you see your presence, I admire that. And I'm happy to share the platform with you all, anytime and always. I'm very happy.
Mr. George, when someone calls you and say, you know, I want to interact with you, you have to take that seriously, and it's an honor. I was on my way to Liberia. You call, you say, listen, come on the show. I told you I was on my way to Liberia. If I come, I will honor your request. It was a promise made, and I have to keep that promise.
I appreciate it so much.
I honor, respect what you do, and we have to support each other.
I think a lot of people start asking me for your number now. See you talking. They want that. They want you to, but don't do nothing for nobody free. They want you to get consultancy, to get advice. Tell them say you don't make yourself cheap. Tell them say if for your own personal upliftment, no, but for the country but you know, so yeah, because when you get any free advice, they take it in, and when they get to a position, then they ignore you and forget about you. You know, but
yeah, I just want to let the world know. You know, you gotta give people their flowers while they are alive. What you guys have done here and you reaching out means a lot to me as well. So I take it as an honor. And that's why I'm here.
Thank you. Ansu, how are you, man? How's everything going?
Thank you, Chief. I'm good, though. Wonderful. Great. Just for the SKD today, the national team play today. So yeah, and we're just talking on another day war again.
I've been trying to make contact with Coach Kojo. Hopefully he will call me while we're on the show, the national coach. And I also tried to call James Diba just to get the perspective of the game today. But I was told, but I want you guys to play this video. They said this was a penalty for Liberia, but the referee denied Liberia this penalty. Can you guys play that video for me? Myean around?
Yeah, so he's trying to get it set up.
Yeah, let me play the video. I want to find out whether let people tell me whether there was they said there was a broad penalty. They deny us the penalty. Let people see it. I love football. I love the game of soccer, but and the people coming out country and be cheating us. How they can do that?
I get cheating.
You know, one team I know most people not around, but I gave Samuel Do credit. You can't, bro.
Yeah.
I always knew the best you can take from Labra will be your draw game, but you cannot beat us in Labra Dota. And in fact,
the referee entered your country 2 days.
The game that Ghana game where they beat us 2-1. That game. That game hyped everybody because Do went on a national team camp. He went there that night. He told Pewee Bestman. He told George Weah, Dean Diba, Washington Blade. He took 5 players from the camp that night to go drive around. Yeah, what on camp. Took them. They drove around the town and he told us, I won this game. I won that game. Hey, Samuel Doe. Hey, look, the guy was always, he took the game seriously. But today they say the vice president let Lone Star to on the field, right? He let it. They say he let the team on the field today.
No, the vice president.
Wow.
The referee came here before the game, chief. The referee stayed in your country 2 days.
Wow.
To such an international feature. The referee in your country.
Wow. Professor Kennedy, good to see you, man. People ask for the prof. The man beside the man doing his regular daytime job, man also teaching, impart knowledge of people. That's why you can see him much. But that's why he get a chance, he'll pop in. But so you don't think the prof is always, he gave a lot of advice, he can always guide us. Yeah, he showed that leadership of guiding us. But he's a businessman. The man is not just he got a corporate, he got a real job there. He teaching people too, you know. And it's like Brempo Sierra too. They organize the online training and teaching. Yeah, I should be thinking about. So can that man do online training for us too? Have some classes for them. Even for people who are ministers, who are lawmakers, classes then are supposed to do, you know. And talking about Professor Kennedy, you know, I just want to say, the sad news I received about our late professor, former Liberian ambassador to Nigeria, Togo and Benin, Professor James Tia Tape. He passed away in the Maryland era. He taught Samuel Doe, one of Doe professor at the IBB School of International Relations. Yeah, one of Liberia's smartest diplomat there, James Tia Tape. I remember was in Nigeria. He treated us very well. Yeah, in the 90s, went there for some student exchange program with Isaac, and he hosted us well. In fact, it was through him we met this guy they call MKO Abiola. Yeah, we met him. We were 9 students, and during election year, Abiola gave us $10,000, man, cash. There, right at his crescent, MKO Abiola Crescent in Ikeja. You know, and he said, the ambassador said, well, at the airport, then Abiola said, okay, yeah, play this thing. Let me see this. You tell me, what are these in what penalty? You can put it, let play and see what happens.
تصدي هذه الطريقة فار كارلون وتصدي هذه الطريقة فار كارلون وتصدي هذه الطريقة فار كارلون وتصدي هذه الطريقة فار كارلون وتصدي.
So wait, so was that a penalty?
I didn't see any penalty there. I didn't see.
Apparently, the Tunisian when the Lone Star player kicked the ball, I think they hit the Tunisian player hand, right?
Yeah, it's a penalty because the hand is not in a natural position by the side of the body. When your hand is extended anytime, you look at the FIFA rules, that is in fact a penalty because he might be turning his head to look away, but he swung his arm in such a,
I think he deflected the ball.
Yeah, so and another situation you can if the person striking the ball, if they're really close, then you can say, okay, he didn't have time to react. But they weren't that close. They were probably maybe a few feet apart. but his hand was in a natural position. That one of the first things they tend to look at. Most people will put their hands behind the back or put their hands in front, close to the body. When you extend the hand, looking at the FIFA.
I thought they got a VAR. We don't have it. You don't. That's a FIFA game, right? No VAR to review the stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of the games, and I don't know if you how many people that watch the games on. There'll be a lot of games in Africa that don't use VAR. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of that. I'm not sure why. Maybe some of the folks there who are familiar with the process can chime in on the chat or say something. But I noticed a lot of the games that I watch on Sky and some of these other channels, I don't see the use of VAR at all. And I think they need to do that because just to make the game fair for because that was in fact a penalty.
Yeah, I seen the thing, and it was an Ivorian referee, Clement Franklin. He said he swallowed the whistle. No, man, but I'm bad because imagine it would have been a draw game. Who knows,
But listen, the technology. Listen, they are coming into your hometown, right?
Yeah.
Professor, if they are coming to my hometown and I know everything is on the line, I will make sure that everything is in place. I wouldn't wait until the penalty. I want to know, do we have a referee yet? Do we have VAR yet? If the technology involved, if we needed a network, do we have the network? All of these things are things that come with the preparation of the field, of the environment. Are these people ready? So
yeah,
Liberia can say that now and say, where was VAR? Did we request for it? Did we make it available? Do we have the ability to have a VAR?
No, Jerome, you're on point because a lot of the countries that do not use VAR is the cost of the infrastructure to set it up. Mm-hmm. And sometimes Liberia don't want to foot the bill. Some countries don't want to put it in place. And there's some political resistance as well. So, sometimes people feel that it would benefit them by not using it at the time. So yeah, you're on point with that assessment.
It is serious because I'm looking at this stuff and I'm saying to myself, first of all, the LFA, the Liberian people, the LFA has to be upfront with the Liberian people that listen, for Liberia to actually be ready, our expectation should be we have to build an academy that will give us 10 years to develop our best and our brightest.
Wow.
We can't just get up and go win game with like Tunisia that has an academy system that go by years. I mean, we talk about decades. So we have to.
Mr. Gamer, I was on Dota on our academy, but we still were winning big games.
Yeah, but listen, there are times where we say we get freak of nature, right? Like the President Weah. President Weah is just a freak of nature. God it's a talent. Like LeBron James and all of these guys, they are generational talents. We were lucky to have few of these people within a special time. And then you got that drought. We cannot depend on nature to do this for us. We have to develop our own. And this is why we have to address the nation and listen. We want 2030, 2035, the group of people coming from all the counties, plus those that were between those people, we're going to develop 15 players that will represent. That's why it should be. But now it's like the expectation is unbelievably false.
I agree with Mr. Deeks because and Professor and Mr. Gaiman, I know what we in Liberia do time. What we do at that time, the high school league was very, very. I think it was very competitive. Mm-hmm. I remember there was a game between Cathedral and BWR. You thought that our game was some national game. That game, I think it was the field was jam-packed to capacity. I remember that game. Then we had the high school league was very competitive, the national league, the 4th division league. Look, I see this time. I see team. They say Pinsville United that they tap the LFA league. Barrow IE then way down the line. They make and then what can hide me? Once you are posting Arsenal team on Facebook, we're focusing on Arsenal and Manchester and Liverpool instead of focus. Look, during those days, I remember we used to go to the foot. Look, when the LFA is on, I remember when one time all of us were playing Barrow. all those Ghana King, all in black gloves. I mean, you see, oh my God, we miss. I mean, again, how when I see people focusing on the European League. I just say, what is this?
No, but Tomalin, to be fair now, we're not putting the money into the school and all. But you see how much we put into the counter meet? Doing the counter meet, forget about Premier League, forget about European League. Liberia is on fire for the counter meet. That means we have invested a lot of time and resources in those. If we do the same thing for the high school, and like you said, not just high school, but middle school, junior high school, you got to start from there. If we did that, you will see. So yes, the success we have gathered, the success we have enjoyed on the county league level, can we trickle that down to high school and then junior high school? We will do well.
But you know, Chief, Jerome, it's like anything else. If you invest in it, you will reap the benefits later.
Yes.
Because one thing Jerome mentioned, and I think Jerome, you a lot of little teams that you're talking about, whether it's the EPL, the Bundesliga, or La Liga, any of those leagues, then they have these academies where the children start very young, and they develop. By the time they're teenager, they already have understood the game. So, like Jerome just mentioned, former President Weah, I won't say freak of nature. He was gifted, right? He was gifted. He had the talent. But we do have a few people like that in Liberia who are gifted, but we will never get to experience or see them, because if they don't get out of where they are right now and go to some of these European leagues where they train them into, the actual art, I don't know who said, football is an art. I can't think of the person's name. But if we train them, into the skills and the tactical aspect of the game, they will be better. So if any, you talk about Samuel Kehleboe, and Samuel Kehleboe was a huge football fan. He was willing to invest in it. He was a strong football fan. If we put money aside, and I thought President Weah would have done this, and we set up these academies and start bringing the young children in from small and let them develop. We bring in some world-class coaches and train them in the skills, in the art of the game. Over a period of time, you can't just wake up overnight and become, the champion for the CAF, right? You can't just win the African championship and then go on to win the World Cup overnight. That's not going to happen. A lot of the teams, the Argentinians, the Germans, all these teams that have won, they have academies in the country where they develop these kids over time. That's what we need to do. So whether it's football or basketball, any of that stuff, we can do that. We can do that. But the person there has to be some investment in it. So I think you agree that in order to reap the benefits, you have to invest first.
That's true. And look, before we start the show, let me end on 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, we'll start the show. But let's talk about football a little bit. The reality is that during those time, I think President Weah told us this story. He said the thing that helped them was that training that those when they sent them to Morocco and Brazil. I think Morocco and Brazil. He said that what helped them. But let me tell you the story. I was living in Habel Firestone, and President Weah, the Barrow, they were doing the off-season games. Barrow featured him that day. Look, that day on the field, people say, "Oh, why?" They kept each time he break the ball, they will go over him, he will fall down. People say, "Where do the physical man? You put the man down, man. You play for Barrow. You set the man down. Set the man down." Oh, but then Mohammed Sitoli, he said he saw something in a young man, and then when they went to Brazil, I think that 6 months they went for. He said where he really his talents, he saw his talent in. When he came back, look, when I got doing like this, people just dropping. Look, I watched him play wizard dribbler. Man, that ball. Oh, I watched that man play soccer. When he do it like people just drop. Then I think after the game they play with Barrow and I in Buchanan, Sam Bonnet said, "I taking the guy." Barrow will look at the man. Sam Bonnet grabbed him. Barrow regretted why they ever let that man to go. Yes, and the man became. Then during the 50th anniversary of LFA, the people came for Dibao. But Dibao both, and we are shy after the game. Tony Clark said, "We're carrying this guy." And he said, "I left on Labrador with 3 trousers, 3 shirts." He said his grandma, he said he was talking with his grandma. So the question was, he said, I just been promoted to the 12th grade. His first question was, he gained a contract. Should I go finish my 12th grade or should I go to the or go to Cameroon? Now the question, he said, the question, he said, but you know something? My grandma is suffering. Let me go play let me go to Cameroon. How come people don't understand? He did not go to the warehouse on the 12th grade. He went there. So he said, had I not gone to that, taking that opportunity, would I have been where I am today? You see, when he went to Tonnerre, playing for Tonnerre Claro Club, the French national coach, I think Claude Raw, saw him playing and told Monaco, say, there's a guy here. He went for 3 years, 3 years contract for $30,000. Said there's a guy who's here. I think you better let the guy come for trial. The man said he went there. That was history, man. He went there, and our history. How come he just went up, And so now in life, you take some decision, and for your own good. How he played, still got today, play and finish the maybe the talent would have been hitting. And he was very instrumental in getting Diba out of Liberia. And yeah, so.
I know we're about to start the show, but let me say the one thing real quick about George Weah. The training that he did, because I remember back in maybe the 80s or early 90s or so, when George Weah leave his club over in Europe, he would come over to, sometimes he would come to Staten Island. He had a house in Staten Island on the Park Hill section, right? He had a house down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would go down to South Beach and he would do some pickup games. And I remember, man, this guy was fit. The first time I saw this guy, and when the guy ran down the sideline, it's like he wasn't breathing, right? Because they trained. The guy was so fit. He did so much stuff. And then when he would hold his George Weah versus the world over at a Giant Stadium in Secaucus, New Jersey, and all those things.
Oh, you went to that game?
Oh yeah.
I thought we're like, bro, when we're just with you guys were would also watch that game.
Well, he knew at the time. He knows.
Oh, really? All the guys said, look at that. America alone.
Yeah, but man, even that's what he knew what trying to hint at, because I was in the meeting with Giuliani and Weah and some other folks. And Weah could relate to Giuliani because Giuliani's a New Yorker and President Weah, he grew up on Staten Island, so he's a New Yorker, right? But the guy would take the time, leave Europe, come to the United States, my man, and do pickup games. And he was fit. That's the key difference. The man was sitting out there eating, kesawali and pamada all day. Look at how to eat some healthy food down in the States.
That's the guys will play
nutrition, big part of it.
You will play for Monaco. In it, you play. Then they will chat up playing for him to come play for Lone Star. He'll play. Let's say he playing tonight. Yeah. Lone Star playing Sunday. They will chat up playing. He come. He play. He was committed to the national team, and don't believe in him, and people argue, say, well, that team, they should have. Well, you can't blame the people. You should have blamed the government. You say, the people should have raised the other generation of players to replace them. But everybody was focused on their career, and because that team was a team, man. That team I watched that team beat Nigeria. Nigeria.
That was the best team we had.
And Morocco and Malawi, beat Kenya. They beat all the team at SKD. Yeah. And these guys, man, I get incredible. And since that time,
electronics, he said we have made scoring goals look easy. But anyway, don't want to go too far off. I know we got a show to run.
We are ready to play, man. I watched most of his game.
Yeah, guys, let's we'll talk football. It's interesting, but let's talk about this thing. Lawyers representing the majority block from Richard Kuhn are calling Supreme Court to dismiss the bitter information filed by Speaker Funati Kofa and his team. What are your thoughts on it? Now, the Supreme Court yesterday came out with the schedule that March 26, they will be listening to arguments from both sides, I think. But while they're pending, Supreme Court, the majority block is saying that they should dismiss the case, and because the Supreme Court has no business to be involved in it. But for me, I look at it like you were able to go to them and wrong with this thing when they interpret, when they render the opinion, they ought to say, oh, the justice minister interpreted it, and then you guys ran with it. So now, because then they're calling you now to kind of face the reality now, and you're saying you should dismiss the case. So I don't know what you guys think about this.
Before Anthony and Jerome come in, me just piggyback off what you just said, because I want them to chime in on all this question together.
Yeah.
Do you guys also agree that Liberia is in a constitutional crisis? And I say that because...
Oh, yes. I mean, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
All right. Because I say that because if the Supreme Court rules and saying they're making a decision based on the Constitution and the legislator just decide not to follow it, you have an issue with people not following the law of the land, because the Constitution is the law of the land. So that in essence puts the country in a constitutional crisis, because anything done by the legislator will pretty much be null and void. So, I just wanted to, and I see Jerome already have touched on that, so I'll swing it back over to you guys.
Yeah, but Professor, now can you also weigh in? I mean, before Jerome coming, that in America right now, it's very rare for the Chief Justice to even make comment. But yesterday, he shocked people, and when Trump was calling for the people to impeach the other judge, the judge, he said, "Man, it's a lunatic. It's a joke." But Supreme Court, he was compelled to come and say, "Look, no, I got to step in." So now we're comparing that case with, I mean, even I know it's different, but for the fact that the majority of Black is saying that Supreme Court should seal the matter, it has nothing to do with it because they are separate branch of government. Quoting, I mean, the Supreme Court has a right to intervene, right? Because they are the only. So what do you think about what the majority of Black is saying?
So the Chief Justice Roberts over here in the United States, he rarely comments or say anything to try to, impugn or say anything about the president. But when the judge that President Trump was criticizing, so this, I don't know how many people know the full story. Over the weekend, the Department of Justice decided to put this gang. They decided to put a whole bunch of them on an airplane and send them over to this maximum security prison over in El Salvador, right? So the judge was telling the Department of Justice, well, you guys shouldn't do that. If you guys have those people there right now about to board a plane, make sure that you do not board the plane. And if those people are in the air, turn that plane around and bring it back to the United States. The Department of Justice does not obey that. They said the plane was in international space and they received the message late. And because the judge said, well, you guys have disobeyed my ruling, President Trump decided to criticize the judge and call him all kind of names, lunatic, like Chief just mentioned, all these other names, which you're not supposed to do because people should have respect for the judicial system. That is why now the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court decided to make a comment. He didn't mention Trump by name, but giving all of the facts that he laid out, everybody knew he was talking about President Trump. He decided to say, no, you cannot do that or say that about the justice system. So this is where now President Trump has been testing the boundaries of the law. Look at what they did with USIT. They told it to dismantle USIT. Judge came out and said, Doge, Elon Musk, does not have the power to dismantle an agency that was brought in by law.
Law, yeah.
Right? So President Trump has been testing the boundaries of the legal system, but the system have been sort of resistant. And there's a lot of cases in court right now. But again, to Chief's point, you can't just come out and criticize a federal judge and not expect to get away with it. So the majority Bloc, what they're doing right now, they're testing the legal limits of the Supreme Court. And until the Supreme Court can have some, you see, the courts can rule, but the Ministry of Justice should be able to carry out whatever it is. If someone is breaking the law, the Ministry of Justice should really be able to lay down the law, lack of a better word. But we don't seem to see that happening in Liberia. I'm not sure what's going on because we're in a constitutional crisis. Any loans, agreements, concession agreements, anything that they are doing right now, the next government can come in and tell whosoever just signed, a 5-year concession agreement that your concession agreement is null and void because it was done by its legislator that had no recognition. They weren't being recognized. And the Supreme Court would agree with that person because these guys are really, going back to Jerome Gayman's point, we're in a constitutional crisis. They're doing stuff that they shouldn't really be doing, So, yeah, but to your point, yeah, Trump, he got an earful from the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, Justice Roberts.
Mr. Gayman, what are your thoughts about this thing, what the majority blacks calling for them to dismiss this case now?
I think I think our brother here, the professor, made it clear already that we are in a constitutional crisis, in a real democracy. And I will make reference to the United States now, because the reason we are talking about some of these things, we always reference the United States, because every document that has to do with anything in Liberia Fauni was cut and paste from the United States. So if you want to mimic this particular democracy, you might do it to the T. And the case that I'm not a lawyer, but what I have read is Marbury versus Madison. And that case set the precedent in this country for judicial review that the Constitution, the Supreme Court, if the Supreme body that has the right to strike down any law that is made by the Senate, that is made by Congress, period. So this nonsense in Liberia about the Supreme Court does not have power, or we have separate branches of government, is lunatic. It's ludicrous. Like I told you, I was at one of the embassies when I in Liberia, and thank God that they host me, and I appreciate that. We were in one of the conversations, and I was talking to one of the staffer on the sideline. We're watching the Kansas City Chief play, and I brought up this subject about what's happening in the house, and one of the staffers said, "Mr. Gayman, are you serious?" I said, yes. Why? The international community, I won't call the embassy's name, why the international community is not outraged? The word she used was, Mr. Gayman, you want to transfer technology. That's how they do their thing here. That means if you want to apply the sensical ruling and constitutional authority in the United States to what is happening in what we call Liberia, you're wasting your time. They do there here, despite what is written on paper, they do something totally contrary. So we are the butt of jokes. Listen to that term. You want to transfer technology. That means you want to do something that is totally foreign to them. Democracy is alien. So for the lawmaker to tell a justice that he's drunk, that his ruling or his opinion is liquor talk, and that the Supreme Court has no power. Can you imagine this? So it is crazy, man. Liberia is crazy.
Well, like the prof said, and somebody from I think a lawmaker told me yesterday that it's true though, is affecting them. That's why the president have gotten involved in this matter, because the former president had to go to tell him. He went to his farm and told him, he said, look, this thing is causing problem. Though. It will cause problem. No one will take you guys serious. Look, ECOWAS will give you a rebuke from ECOWAS. And you guys got to complete this thing. And now I see the majority black offering, dual suspended, we're lifting suspension, offering your committees just to appease. But the guys are saying, no, let's the Supreme Court rule. And from there, we'll take it. I predict that after all the arguments with the Supreme Court, they will tell them, you'll go back and you'll go have election. You don't have to change the speaker. You'll go do election. And apparently this guy couldn't realize that he will not succeed in being elected. So he said, well, let me just I'll fight to do this thing. But the country is, like you said, Professor, we are in a constitutional crisis for real. Because if the three branches cannot, they say they should coordinate and together, but if it's not happening, it's a problem. By the end of the day, the executive, whatever the Supreme Court would say, the executive will have to now step up, because they would take, if the top says that if the majority of blacks now living up to what it's saying, the speaker pay won't go to Kun again. The detail will take it for him, And all their stuff will come, they'll say, well, we'll draw these things from this guy because, and they'll be forced to go and act, because if you just in that kind of divided house, nothing will come out of it. And time is going. And by the time you look, we'll be in 2026. And if those who want to run for president and who want to run, they will start, in the government, you will start things about this thing affecting our developmental agenda. So it's up to them, though. So
let me ask you guys this question.
Yeah.
Oh, I like fixed electronics. That guy's a capitalist. Looking at the price of gold, with all the gold in Liberia, look at the price of gold. We still, anyway. But let me ask you guys this question. Do you think that other government officials and agencies and other people, if the Supreme Court cannot enforce its ruling, do you think now it would empower other people to start disregarding rulings by the Supreme Court?
But they're doing that already. Okay, not only the Supreme Court, but the rule of law. Okay, now let's look at the only saving grace that we have now, the Liberian people have, because the executive abrogated their power, their responsibility. The only saving grace we have is the yellow card that hanging over us, that within the next 60 days, Liberia needs to get its house in order. You can limit it to passport if you want to. You can limit it to everything, but it is a conglomeration of everything that is happening in the country. The ambassador spoke and he said, whatever it is, you have your default always has to be the rule of law. That's what the ambassador said. That's what the embassy said. So what we are saying here now is, with this yellow card hanging over us, like the foreign minister said, we have begun to put things in place to remedy some of these issues. That is a code, loaded word, loaded code. So we are hoping within the next 60 days, the Supreme Court will rule. This thing about the court should dismiss, that's what happened in every case. Everybody will tell you, you have no standing, dismiss it, and the court will usually throw it out and say, do all you want, you better come, you better show up here and tell us why we shouldn't listen to this case, or why should we. So that is just a formality. They will show up. And whatever the ruling is, the executive now is in a bind with the yellow card hanging over them. They will have no other choice but to abide. If not, then it is a deliberate account to put the country in chaos.
Prof, I believe that what will happen, they will be compelled to act, because and the executive branch, I mean, it's because we have our executive branch is more powerful than the legislature will be the first branch of government, but we have an imperial executive branch. So just imagine, as soon as the justice minister interpreted the Supreme Court opinion, the Senate ran with it, the executive ran with it. Next thing they did, told Speaker Kofa, we would either resign or we'll take away your security detail, and they started to script on everything. He paid his speaker pay, started to go to the other guy, and everything was just went like that. So if the Supreme Court rendered an opinion, and whatever they say, at the question I even asked the vice president, I said, so if the Supreme Court rendered an opinion against the other guy, he said, we'll have no choice. We have to accept the Supreme Court. It's on record, so we'll see what happens. And you have to accept it. If they accept it now, that means nothing you can do. Then the question will be, whether Speaker Kofa will still want to be speaker, or he will say, well, I want to preside in the conduct of the next election of a speaker. I'm not interested in again. That would be a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, real quick. So this thing, they can either negotiate it, they can bring in ECOWAS, some other international body, but I know another way they could possibly do it, and you guys tell me who's going to go for this or whether it makes sense. But do you think that if there was some sort of a public referendum to decide on the speakership, let them put that thing up to the public to vote who should be the speaker, you think you think it makes sense for the public to come in and say, look, let's resolve this thing? I mean, it's kind of rare that would ever happen, but I was just kind of thinking, man, if ECOWAS, some other international body cannot resolve this, if these two groups who are fighting for this position cannot reconcile. I mean, I understand Speaker Kofa holds all of the cards, you know, to use President Trump's words, because he's the speaker legally based on what the Supreme Court ruled. So he doesn't necessarily need to do anything other than to just say, look, let's enforce the rule that was rendered by the Supreme Court. But then to what Chief just said, you know, the Justice Minister comes out and he starts doing his own interpretation of the Constitution, which doesn't make any sense. But if that since that already happens, maybe put this thing up for some sort of a referendum. I don't know if that makes sense, but just throwing something out there. So over to you, Jerome.
Yeah, Professor and Chief, I want you on this your show. Maybe a few months ago, the representative from District Number 7 in Nima County, Mr. Musa Ability, made this on your show several months ago. He said, if this thing continue as it is, and they wind up, and Kofa, Representative Kofa winds up overseeing an election for a new election. He said, you can rest assured, I will be the next speaker in the Republic of Liberia. I want you to play that tape. I want you to listen to what he said. And then last week, I think Thursday, Speaker Kofa came on and said, I have no interest in presiding over people who don't want me to preside over them. My constitutional right should not be violated. Turn the gavel over to my deputy speaker and let him preside over an election in which I will not be a participant. So he has agreed that he will not be a part. Now I go back to what Musa Ability said, that because the election in the House is nothing but money. That's it. The guy who got the most money that can influence more people wins. So he is saying, if Kofa is not running, and it's between me and Cone, I will be the next speaker. So when Kofa spoke on Thursday and said, I have no interest in the position, it just has to be done the right way, it popped to me and said, aha. So Chief Tomalin George, don't be surprised if the Supreme Court rules and Kofa turns the gavel over to Fala and they're having a new election. Don't be surprised if representability is not the next Speaker of the House.
Well, one of the smartest things they did, that the Rule of Law Caucus, and they have been standing strong. And that's why you see it was whoever organized it, Ben Ability is the head of that caucus. They're the ones who the majority have been trying to do business, trying to lure into having some negotiation. But apparently now it's like, nah, we're not gonna fall for your trap. So we stay our ground, and now we're gonna see what happens. ECOWAS came here. ECOWAS have said that you'll fix your stuff, and now they rejected the people they sent to ECOWAS, and now the Supreme Court have taken seize of the matter. Say, well, we will now look into this bit of information, and then we render our opinion. That's what everybody waiting for now. So all the last minute thing I see the majority doing, they're trying to, like the professor said, it's trying to see to make appeasement, but I think it's late though. And if I see a window opening that, if Musa see there's an opening that he will become a speaker tomorrow, if they go back to status quo and T, where they will say you do election, if Kofa is stepping aside. Because I mean, remind you guys, in the issue with Snow, when Snow was targeted, President Sadi wanted Edward Fall to replace Snow, the CDC at the time. But those who stood by Snow, they said no. If Snow will leave, we'll find our own speaker. Who they did? They put their hope in Tyler. How come Tyler became speaker? Because all the people that are backing Snow, they put a vote in Tyler. So it will happen. Who knows? Now all the people that are supporting the majority black right now, some people there because they won't get a pay. They're able to survive the tough time. So they say right now, I will go to work because if I don't go to work, they will hold my pay. And some people living from paycheck to paycheck. So they're able to survive. They say, well, the other people who pay, they have suspended. They're surviving. Since December, they haven't paid these people this money. People haven't taken pay, but they're holding their ground. So right now, some people that they just there because they say right now we can't afford to act tough. So they're there. But if it comes to election and a secret ballot, they know that he will not survive.
And Chief, how did making Tyler speaker, how did that work out for the Liberian people?
He stayed there for 9 years.
Yep.
And just in that time, the all black business came about, and all that money, the all black, they share among themselves, and that's just how it went. And nothing came out of it today. And I know the all black, a Nigerian man ended up benefiting from that all black, I heard. And like, I'm not what, Professor, what are we? Because I don't know. Because that all black money is a Nigerian man king, and he made it cut, and he was gone. And Liberia today, Liberia will still the same.
Liberia is a rentier state. We rent everything. We rent our iron ore. We rent even parts of our ocean, the fish. We rent all of our minerals. And the reason being because we're not sophisticated enough to know how to take our resources and monetize it and make it our own. We don't know how to make the best use of our resources. Even something like asset recovery. I heard someone pinged me today and said, "Oh, they have a new team heading to Liberia to help the asset recovery team." I was like, "Really?" So they told me the name of the firm. I think it's called FTI Consulting. Yeah. So I started thinking, why would you bring in another group to start fresh when, if you look at the top 3 asset recovery companies in the entire world, the top 3, 2 of them have been to Liberia. One of them was Kroll. Kroll is I think the top 1 when it comes to asset recovery.
Oh, really?
Kroll already have the data because they did that investigation, which I know Jerome Gayman doesn't want me to get into right now, so I will not get into it. But they did the investigation at the CBL. The other one who was there was the Grant Thornton. So Grant is, I think, either number 2 or number 3. I know BDO is there somewhere. So you already have the top 2 people who can do this in the entire world that have been there, and they have the data. Nigeria have recovered over 5 billion.
Look at that.
It's still a small amount out of the 17 or 20 billion they believe stolen, but 5 billion is huge. They managed to collect, I think, between 500 to 800 million from an island nation of Jersey, which people will hide money. Liberia has hundreds of $1 million out there. But going back to the point why we rent everything out is because there are people now who are running the asset recovery show. They just don't seem to understand the process. They understand international finance, understand this whole process. Because the people who are successful at doing this, like Grant Thornton, Kroll, those people have the data. If you want to move money internationally, there's one system you have to use. It's called SWIFT. Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Transactions, SWIFT. To get SWIFT data is not easy. I don't even think you can get it. But because all of the money, if somebody is stealing money from Liberia, a large chunk of money, you put it in a suitcase, you're going to probably get busted because you can't take more than 10,000. Right, you're going to get caught, right? You're going to immediately be tagged and flagged as a money launderer. So if you're going to move money, you will have to move it through the central bank. And the central bank will only move it through SWIFT. So people like Grant Thornton and Kroll that have already been given access, because remember now, the government hired Kroll and USAID was involved in that, in paying the bill. So Kroll has the data. So if you bring Kroll in and say, look, we need help with asset recovery, you stand a good chance of recovering hundreds and hundreds of $1 million to support your budget and also prosecute some of the people involved in that stuff. So I don't know. I mean, this new company, I know they're a pretty large company. I hear that, they have done this work before in other countries. But Liberia has a unique situation. Liberia is very unique. So
but Professor, I mean, so maybe some of us we don't understand this whole how to do this asset recovery stuff. But most of the money is not in the system, though. It's not in the system. Most of the money was like I saw, like people were writing checks and then put money on it, and people were drawing it. But so how do you target the people that are involved? How do you capture them? I mean, how are you going to do it? Because
you have two types.
if I stole my money, I took no trace of it, no paper trail. How will you find me? How will you catch me?
You have two types. You have the people who have stolen, the domestic people. They steal their money. It's there domestically because they probably build farms. They probably started some, building properties and doing all that stuff. So you have your domestic people, and you have the people that send money internationally because, like Nigeria, like all the other countries have it. A lot of people tend to move money internationally. They will put it in like a Swiss bank account. They will put it in the British Virgin Islands, BVI. They will put it in maybe even a bank over in UK. Remember now, during President Weah time, there was $8 million were found sitting in a bank account over in the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Bring the former Solicitor General, Cephas. There was $8 million sitting in the account, and nobody was taking ownership of it because it had been flagged. So you need to bring the two teams together. The people on the domestic side that knows how the system works, and the people on the international side that understand that in order to gain access to money that is sitting in some Swiss account, you need to take it through the legal system. Because there was one case where Nigeria was trying to get this money from a Swiss bank account, and the bankers in there were fighting Nigeria, even though they could prove that Sani Abacha and his family stole this money. But those banks don't want to easily give up this money. So you need international lawyers to do that. So, Chief, to answer your question, you need a whole set of people on the domestic side to help you. Let's say they can bring back maybe $15, $20 million if you're lucky. But on the international side is where the big money lies. The international side is where you can find the $100, $200, $300 million that may be sitting in the British Virgin Islands or maybe sitting somewhere over in a Swiss bank account. To do that, the US FBI will support you because they too get a cut in a retrieval. So the US FBI will support, because they help Nigeria. So the US FBI will support you. So you need an international litigator, somebody who will be able, who can file cases or be the lead, whether the case is being filed in the British Virgin Islands, it's being filed in courts in Africa, outside of Nigeria. That's what you need. So you need two sets of teams. Right now, what I see happening is they have the local people in there, but they need a lead investigator and a lead litigator, a lead attorney. So I don't know who this team is or their strength on the international side, but whether you're partnering with Grant Thornton, Kroll, BDO, Price Waterhouse Cooper, or even Ernst & Young, those are the big five I was talking to see if I can get help. I don't know where these people rank in that list, but if they're serious about these things, you need some technical expertise to come in and do it. So
before Mr. Gayman, let me ask a question quickly. Maybe you two can answer it. Do you guys believe that there are money from that money that belong to Liberia sitting in some banks internationally today? Do you guys believe you got money sitting in banks right now in some foreign banks that should be belong to the country sitting there today? Do you guys believe that?
There are hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in foreign countries, in foreign bank accounts right now.
For Liberia?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this comes from people who had done some investigation on the Grant Thornton side. That's information coming from those folks. So there are people, and Liberia doesn't have to pay the attorneys to do this stuff. There is something called a financial litigator. There are companies out there that can finance you suing somebody for money in a foreign bank account because they know they're going to get a cut. So, for example, there's some sitting right here in Pennsylvania. There are large companies sitting right here in Pennsylvania, some in New York as well. You can get those companies, they can put up the capital because they know, depending on, what you bring to them, they can put up the money that can be used to pay the lawyers to sue various banks to go after those monies sitting in those different accounts. And Chief, to answer your question, yes, with 100% certainty, there are hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in the British Virgin Islands and banks around the world. Yeah.
To add on to that, Chief, I want you to pay key attention to this and save this tape. Why this thing is not going to go anywhere. Let's look at the 1980 coup, right? When the coup took place, did we put a commission? Is that a Brunel commission and say, go and investigate the root causes of our issue? What did the politicians do? They said, fine, we agree. We are going to do it from 1980 onward. And the folks and the group said, if you actually want to get to the bottom of our issue, why do you want to start at 1979 or 1980? Why don't we go all the way back to the 1822, 1850, 19? Why are we going? So the power to be did not want to be involved in this investigation. So they are saying, we're going to start with a 1989 rice riot. And who are those that they were going after? The progressives. So now look at this. Under the George Weah government, they talked about this, and Councillor Johnson was the head of that commission, right? And he said he resigned, and they asked him why. He said, first of all, the George Weah government is not serious. He said, the scope of this investigation is so huge that we cannot pay any law firm. We want law firms that will take our kids that will work with on commission. So we should now say you get 50 or 20% of what you collect, as opposed to us paying upfront, like a fee, what lose or not. He didn't want that. But the government did not have the spine, because some people, from what we gather, there were some powerful friends, people that supported the CDC government, who have vested interest in narrowing the scope of the investigation. So they did not get involved into that. And that killed the whole thing. So watch this group that's coming. Somebody that has vested interest, Joseph Walker does, because he goes all the way down back to 2000. That 2006, right, when the new administration came in. So do you think Joseph Walker is going to authorize any investigator to say go all the way back to 2016 on Ellen Johnson and maybe Taylor, Todman, Talbot, go all the way back? They wouldn't want to do that, because they themselves will be ensnared. So they may say from 2018 to 2023. So they want to narrow the scope as much as they can to make sure that they are not ensnared into this. And that will be the doomsday scenario where the folks will say, well, this is their cosmetic. If you only want to go after 2018 to 2023, but not 2005, not 1980, not 1970, where the actual money was spent between the Todman, the Talbot, and the Doe. If you don't want to conclude, you don't want to include those, but you just want to go to 2018, it will be doomed. So watch this space. The scope is what you should be looking at, and the professor here knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you really want to do this, it has to be carte blanche. It has to be no holds barred. Just go when, how long is there. If it's there from Todman, from Talbot, from Doe, go after it. And you will see the scope will be so narrow that it will not even be worth our time.
But like what you guys are saying, somebody just agree with his professor. He said he's right. He's on point. You got millions, and this is interesting though. You got millions of dollars sitting in foreign banks that belong to Liberia, but to get it now. But then I said, but then would they be bringing in foreign asking for foreign help? I mean, would they do business with the people say, well, Tomalin George got his amount. Would they, even in government, would they stop them, or the people will be compromised? And if these people are international firms, they don't want to compromise their reputation. They want to tarnish it. You can't go do business at playing D. It will affect your whole system, institution.
No,
so
but But the contract will tell you, no matter how big your firm is, international, national, it's the scope. If I call you and say, I want you to do the audit from 2018 to 23, that's what the contract calls for. That's what I'm going to do. They have nothing to do with the country. They have no reason to say it's not their job to say, let's go back to 1980, let's go back to 1950. Their job is, I'm here, what do you want me to do? And the government will say, I want you to audit from point A to point B, and this is your scope. And they cannot go outside the scope. Professor, you can talk to that.
No, it's like you were sitting in a meeting. You're right.
Wow. Also, Professor, you're involved in the one with Albert Johnson. You're involved in that too?
I was talking to them. They needed help. They reached out to me. I made arrangements in terms of who they can talk. Oh, and let me just put this disclaimer out there. I wasn't getting paid. You know, if you're going to get paid for some of these things, you have to report it to the U.S. IRS.
Oh.
So I wasn't getting paid. So I did, in fact, help them. I connected them with one of the top 5, I would say, law firms in the U.S. and Arthur Johnson, Serenia Cephas, and Lafayette Gould. Took them to the firm. They're right there on Broadway in Manhattan. And they met some of the partners. The partners flew to Liberia. They told them, you know, based on investigations and contacts with folks over in the British Secret Service, what is it, MI6? Yeah. So they had contacts with those folks, and the preliminary investigation shows that there were hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in the BVI. And I don't know if the Panama Papers or one of those expose had something to do with it, but some of the folks that we're talking to have also been working with Grant Thornton that have done some of the forensic investigation at the CBL, so they could see the outflow of money out of the country into what we call these havens, right? Places where people send money to hide it. So they knew that there were hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And Mr. Gaiman is right. You know, you simply have to tell the litigators the scope of their investigation, and it will work within that scope. You know, so after a while, one of the lawyers, close friend, he told me. He said, "Look," he said, "this whole thing," he said, he lost over $400,000 in terms of billing, because he bills at around $900 an hour but the time that he spent flying to Liberia and going after this thing, putting all of the team together and the meetings and all of that stuff. And to see this whole thing die because at the time, someone within the administration didn't want this investigation done. So it killed it. So, Grant Thornton went through the exact same thing. So I don't know who this FDI or who these folks are, whether they're going to be successful, but if they don't understand the culture, they don't understand the people, they're essentially wasting their time.
Wow. Well, let's see what happens. According to the Deputy Information Minister, Sano, he said that they should arrive yesterday in the country. We'll be following them to see what the outcome. For me, I want, if you, what is it in law, what the investigation, what the facts lead you, you go there. If the evidence there, you bring it forward. We want
They're not going to be successful, Chief. They're not going to be successful because in order to be successful, I see actual factual laughing on my caveat. In order to be successful, there has to be a willingness. Yeah, because I put it out there. I said, I was still getting paid.
I see. Okay.
Hey, man, I'm keeping it real, because people can take things and run with it, right? Like our renowned senator from Monserrate said Larry was being paid as a lobbyist. I don't know where he got his thing from. What bulletin board he got it from. But anyway, in order to be successful, there has to be a willingness. There has to be a complete buy-in by the administration and a willingness, going back to what you just mentioned, Chief, let the facts lead the way. We'll follow the facts. But I think that they're going to run. They're not going to be successful. I mean, I hope they are successful. Maybe they will take lessons from how Nigeria did it. There was a willingness to do it. And people were sick and tired of what was happening. And Nigeria was successful. And Nigeria didn't just do it on their own. There were cases that the FBI supported them on, So I don't know. I hope I wish them all the best, but they will come to realize that Liberia is a place that you would get frustrated and you would leave.
like I said, man, we pray. Let's pray. We're hoping that they'll be successful, and let's see that that's where our money, where what banks they got our money, we'll get it back, and maybe we can run it. We can do a lot in Liberia with the money they will recoup. We pray for that because we need the money. But let's go to Honorable Snow today. He challenged the public web minister. Myean, you guys can play that video, please. He said he claimed that a vehicle worth $60,000 and was purchased by a construction company as a kickback from the deed he gave them. Okay, let's listen to him.
Fight. Well, the newspaper or the company because I wrote that letter. Put them, I co-chair the Committee on Public Works. Let's challenge it tomorrow morning. Let Minister of Public Works bring a car the value of that vehicle. And let somebody tell me it's $45,000. Snapped. And we start with Public Works. Even sign road contract and make contractors to get a vehicle to add out to the cost of the road. So for the committee to come and say, misrepresented, I don't believe that. No government official here, and I challenge it. Tomorrow morning, I'm prepared to resign from the Liberian Senate if you can prove me wrong that the car the Minister of Public Works carrying is $45,000. I will publicly resign from the Liberian Senate. I challenge anybody, put it on record. You go in the public and tell people that we're riding $45,000 car, and it sounds like we committed crime in this country. But people are riding 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 car. 120. Poor Ami Moda, they're probably already on the moving from there. He just fell for that in trouble. You were all there around the same category of car. The whole public work. I will start with public works. Let the Minister of Public Works come tomorrow morning and show me his procurement order for $45,000 for the car he rides. I will resign from the Liberian Senate. Somebody can't tell us here or misrepresented. It's not true. All of them riding car more than $45,000. And the budget law says car value, the ceiling of vehicles being $45,000. Let them go to the ceiling, the budget ceiling. They shouldn't tell us that they can take land, budget from other places to augment them. That's why the budget law says $45,000. Excluding the president, the vice president, the chief justice, the speaker, the senate pro tem, and the deputy speaker. So they should not do that to us. Let them tell us what law, what a reliance to start riding vehicles for more than $45,000 when the budget law says $45,000. Thank you.
Wow. Well, Minister, I think a few days ago, Snow raised the issue about the issue of cars, and then somebody came out and said he misrepresented the facts. So he said today, I think now he's saying he challenged the Minister of Public Works to come tomorrow, and because it's a threshold for vehicles, you can't buy more than $45,000 for a car. Even that is, for me, it's too much still. Okay, but he's saying that the Minister of Public Works, if he come tomorrow, I think they set up a committee today. If he proved that the car he drives personally is less than that amount, he will resign. Professor, what's your take on it? What's your take on what you just heard?
Liberia, how do you spell rescue? It is our time. Look, man, no matter what you do, another group comes in, they just seem to just ignore the law. Well, first of all, they should be cutting their expenses big time because the whole demise of USAID, the Trump administration is changing the whole game in terms of foreign aid. Based on what President Trump is doing, the European Union now is cutting down on their aid to Africa and other places. You're not going to be getting the money that you're accustomed to getting in your budget. So if you have a huge budget deficit, you got to close that gap. Where are you going to get the money from? It's not going to be in foreign aid. You have to go and borrow the money. You don't have good credit ratings. You cannot borrow the money because right now your debt puts you in a medium risk of default, meaning you can't sustain to pay. So not just what Snow is saying that should be of concern to them. They can't afford it. They can't afford it. So he doesn't even need to, like what he's saying, he doesn't even need to be making that kind of threat. They should just be able to call these guys in. Let them show the bill of sale. Let's start, first of all, with how much you actually paid. I don't care whether you did some shenanigan with a car dealership where you fake the actual amount, because based on that Martin Cole investigation, people will put one price on their car and then go ahead and try to get a kickback or do some other shenanigan with it. But you can't continue to consider yourself a country if you're not following the rule of law. And people will support their rogue, no matter who that person is. You know, you'll see a whole bunch of people will say, oh, they'll be against Snow, they'll be insulting him, they'll be doing all kind of nonsense because the person who is there not in power or the person they're supporting is somebody who they might be getting some benefit from. That's why we have laws, we have rules. If it is written down that you shouldn't have a car more than a certain amount, you shouldn't be allowed to go and make the purchase on your own. There should be an agency making the purchases and then giving you the car to use it until your tenure is over, and then they take the car back. The fourth largest city in the US, Houston. Houston used a system called Fleet Focus. All of the cars in Houston, right there at the City Hall building, they go through an IT system called Fleet Focus. How do I know? Because they had to put that system online. I was there on part of the IT team that managed this whole system. All of the vehicles, they purchase the vehicles, they put the city name on it, and they connect it to a software that tracks the system, that tracks the car. So these guys shouldn't be going to a dealership to go buy it. And I know people saying, oh, that Liberia, you don't have the technology. No, it's a software. It connects to the, I don't know much about that OBCD thing. You know, I know about the software. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Anthony? It
Absolutely.
Part of the car.
I install those things in car.
Exactly. So you know the deal. So first of all, change the system. Enforce the rule of law. Snow doesn't have to come out here and make these kind of threats. Because if you make sure the system, people are following the law, if they're not following the law, enforce it or jail them or remove them. But it's not going to happen. So, I mean, I hear what he's saying. You know, he tried his best to try to do, but it's just going to frustrate you. It's going to frustrate you. Yeah, actual know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's it, Chief. He will do his things. The supporters will support, and the people against him will criticize him. But all the while, the folks that will get away with it.
Well, Mr. Gilman, you think if the Minister of Public Works, if it's proven that his car is more than the $45,000 threshold that he's supposed to pay, you think it should be punished? I mean, it should. But Snow is also saying that he's saying that the construction company that doing the roads and things, they may have bought the car for him, other stuff. You think Snow is taking a risk by putting his job on the line, saying he will resign? Because if it's proven that, if the guy proved that what he's saying is not true, and he doesn't resign, people will just start. What do you think will happen? You think?
Let's see. Chief, you are too sophisticated of a man. You know the answer, but you just want to play devil's advocate. Snow is I call him my bastard brother. He know what, all the other stuff. He and a dealer. They have learned something from Dylan and the rescue government. Coming up with these fictitious huge headlines, eye-catching headlines. Where was Snow? Snow was there when the $8 million, was it $8 million or $21 million money came about from Public Works, and they were called in. Yeah, they were called in to get a report of the Senate called the Mr. Gideon, I think the Minister of Public Works.
Yeah, really.
Called Gideon in to give an account. There was a public outcry about the $21 million, and Gideon said it right before them that yes, we got the company that won the bid. He said my inspector, they didn't even have car to go inspect. So they gave us some cars, pickup trucks, okay? And we are using it. It's true. He admitted and he listed everything. And what did they tell him? Go, don't do it anymore. And we all laugh about it that these guys are not serious. So for this now to become a breaking news, Snow was there, they voted to let Gideon go. Gideon made it clear that he got cars. He told them. In a hearing, he told them. He revealed everything. He said, I spent most of the money, I got this, but I got $8 million somewhere that the remaining will apply later on. Nobody pushed back to say do you have a separate account aside from the government that you had $8 million? Where is the $8 million? Nobody pushed back on it. And my own brother from Sano County, Chie, the former pro tem, basically told them, say, listen, what you guys have done is not good, but don't do it anymore. You go put your house in order. And they all left. So for Snow to be here, you know, Snow is saying this because he has the paperwork that was presented by Giddy long time ago that Giddy had these cars. In fact, he said there were 2 cars, 2 pickup trucks that the company gave. He admitted it. And had a performer. He got everything. So for Snow to come over there 7 months or 4 months later to say now that he's some kind of hero and he's catching folks and he will resign, we know he has the paper in his hand already. So let him get away with this. I'm not going to even buy into it because it's fake. It's fake headline. It's worth nothing. And you all covered that hearing. The Senate called Gideon. Gideon went over there and told them exactly how the deal went down. How many cars? Who gave the car? And he justified that. He said, you guys can say all you want. I have men that's supposed to go out there and inspect these roads and the construction we're doing. We don't have any means for them to get there. So we demanded cars and they gave us pickup trucks. And he admitted it. So what's new now? That Snow, my brother, going to come out here and doing all this showboating, and not only is he not showboating, but he uprooted the microphone from his desk, uprooted the microphone, and he's talking. I mean, these guys full of. I mean, when you talk about showmanship, that the epitome of showmanship. Thank you.
Yeah, but okay, Anthony. But we got to start from somewhere. I mean, you know, because now he's saying that they have been accusing the lawmaker of saying that they're riding big cars, big expensive cars. So now it's like he's also accusing the minister of getting kickbacks for this car because he's saying that the construction company that got the bid to do this road, because one of the things they do to get a bid, I mean, and they say that kickback. You know, like I asked the PPCC boss. I said, but why as I noticed that you are just giving no objection. Eh? You're giving other people authority because you did it to water and sewer, did it to no car. You do it everywhere, no objection. You know,
LPRC.
Yeah, and you know, my man, I said, but my man.
Not just LPRC, was the final ministry remodeling or renovation, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I told him, I said, what are you doing? We're coming to that case very soon because no objection is wrong. What you guys doing now fail. You know, you guys not doing good. But again, we're coming to that point one of these days soon. That no objection there. You can't just give no objection to people and just say, okay, no objection, you know, and see what we're hearing now, LTC and so forth. But Anthony, weigh in. You think
Tomalin, thank you for the opportunity and good evening to everyone, our follower and the listeners on the radio. Look, Ron Messenger, great message. Senator Snow should not be the one championing this, and yes, why? I know Tomalin will all come here, and I want to go back to the basic of what we had yesterday. Currently, as we speak, $11.8 million already allocated for our lawmakers. That is the representative receiving $100,000 and the senator receiving $150,000 each. If you combine all 103 lawmakers in that sum of money, that's $11.8 million United States dollars we're talking about here in 1 year, right? Then this very senator is coming out here singling out these people instead of them talking about how can they cut down their own Senate benefits of lawmaker to recast the current national budget and find means to address the current issue of Liberia. They're talking about minister driving cars when they themselves, it was on the same show yesterday when Dwapo called in and talked about how much it costs us, you know, for a lawmaker's car. So, in as much as he may have good intention, but I just think it's not a great intention because he have a political ambition. Want to be seen that he's doing something now. But he been in government for so long and also is the head of delegation to ECOWAS, a very huge responsibility. Liberia as a country cannot boast of his representation on ECOWAS. Liberia cannot boast of his presence in the Liberian Senate currently. We cannot. And Senator Snow, with all due respect, you're a man who has served our nation for so long. You should be now the doyen in our House of Senate, leading the charge, introducing legislation that will have direct impact on the living condition of every citizen of Liberia. If you take the $45,000 car, you don't need that $45,000 now because you are well established. Not every 3 years you should receive that. You should even set that example and say, look, we need to do X, Y, and Z. But in the middle of the ocean, and you crying that you're thirsty, when you can find your way out and get a drink. Even if the salt water is bad, that little zip will not kill you at that moment. What they're not doing, Tomalin, is that they're not in this thing for the Liberian people. They pretend that they care about the Liberian people. The true answer is in their hand. If they really mean well for Liberia, they will cut down their benefits. They will cut down some of the unnecessary spending that they have going on.
Frozen.
Bond, on scratch card, they will cut it off. They are not doing those things. So now you come out to say, oh, the minister is driving a car more than $45,000. Yes, there is a law that says they shouldn't drive a car more than $45,000. But you are the wrong messenger. When you take in one extra $150,000, that could be doing something in your very county, Bomi County, for the hospital there. But that money coming directly to you, you have to decide which project. Why do we have a county superintendent to begin with? Why there is a city mayor to begin with? You sat there and renegotiated Western Cluster deal. You sat there and renegotiated a Salamanca deal. You sat there and renegotiated almost all the other concession deals. Even the very APM terminal today that is giving Liberia a hard time. You're part of it. You rectify that. So you're not the best messenger.
Okay, but even at that, if I mean we you know, my thing is this though. We want change. We want to see different things happening. Yeah, you guys laid good points, but how will we get to that point whenever somebody tried to say, well, that what he's saying is the fact now that people should not, well, we can address it, and then when the time comes to talk about what you are saying, it comes. But right now, he's saying that ministers are accusing the Minister of Public Works of getting cars, a kickback from a car that or company that working for him, basically working on the ministry, gave him. And it's not saying that it's not only he alone. He said that all is across. So, I mean, why can't you support it and say, well, as a good thing, you're raising the issue, but then after that, when we deal with it, we'll go deal with it, what the benefits. But right now, what he's saying, you agree? What he's saying is the fact, right?
It is a good thing, but it's a wrong messenger. He's going to channel out you another new cylinder that because look, tell me, here's the thing.
Well, you won't be a lawmaker, but at the oversight the Ghana, oversight over the executive branch, that what they exercise.
Yeah, but you cannot be a committer of a crime, and then you want to prosecute another criminal, and that's where he is. He is a committer of a crime in the sense that he's part of this problem that hurting Liberia. Senator Snow is part of the problem that is hurting Liberia today. He cannot be the one trying to single out another person. He is part of the problem. I'm looking into the camera and I'm saying, Senator Snow, Edwin Snow, Honorable Snow, you are part of the problem that got Liberia where it is today. And so, by you singling out another person and threatening to resign, when you know for the way you won't resign, it's also a political bluff. If Senator Snow really mean business for Liberia, he will go back on Thursday tomorrow and lead a charge where we say, listen, we need to refocus our mind on the domestic issue of Liberia. Where are we right now with our national budget? How can we recast the budget? How can we put more money in the hospital? How can, in healthcare? How can we put more money in agriculture? How can we put more money in education? That's the thing that will help Liberia. You are also part of the reason Liberia is suffering because of all of the benefit every one of you getting. So, Tomalin and Mr. Gaiman, if we really mean business, one man in that Senate can start a movement and it can change the trajectory of our country.
But it starts from somewhere now.
But by him singling out another person when he says it's part of the problem, that's not helping the case. I criticize and I also gave a recommendation. My recommendation to them is they need to look at the current national budget because they are $51 million short. Recast the current national budget, reduce their benefits, reduce some of the things that they're doing, and focus on things that will help their low-hanging fruit that they can address right away. Like Professor Kennedy talked about the tracking devices. When I was with Comcast, technician never used to show up to the customer house. We have to install something called a geofence in the vehicle. And that geofence, you cannot allow us to say you were at the customer house because once you are in certain proximity of that particular address, the system linking up to that very address because it's geographically located. So the latitude of the Google Earth with that geofence device, sync it up and say you are at that location. So you can't be at McDonald's cruising in your van and tell the people, say, oh, the customer's not home, right? There are ways to, technology is advanced. They don't have to get them the voucher for them to go buy their vehicle. They can procure the vehicle and also put tracking devices on it. You only there to use the vehicle for government purpose only. But no, these guys take the thing and carry it to that farm, carry it to that, the beach places and everything. You're not doing the people's job.
Well, I mean, I don't know about Mr. Gaiman. We've lead the topic. For me, if I was making decision, advising, government should rent the car when you're done. When rent the car, so when you on the government clock, the Liberian people clock on the time, you use it. By the time put a car by, and to me, look, I believe if we start doing this kind of stuff, I was even told that you don't see the Congress boy in America yet. When they kind of watching on here, they giving it. I see them taking taxi, Uber to go to the sessions. I see them, yeah. And if so, you want to catch them on Thursday when they finish session, they're rushing to go catch the airline. You go back to fly back to the constituent, to the home state. They're rushing to go back, and they see them with no Senate 1 and REP 2, all this stuff. I tell you, if they realize that, when you become elected, the Grand Crew for Grand Crew County or for Grand Bassa County, they car for rental. When time you turn over, when you go back to when Thursday finish, you go back to your base, park the people car, go and go pay them good, but go back to go to work, go back to your people. You will see people because prior to the war, right? Prior to this thing, the Senate were not too attractive. I don't want people fucking be senator or lawmaker. My uncle Roberto Doe, he was senator, didn't do it. Roberto Doe was senator for Roses, and they were not that attractive. I didn't say being attractive,
because jobs are in the country.
Yeah, but when I attract, but nowadays everybody want to be lawmaker. I watching a foreign minister and her team yesterday when they appeared before the Foreign Affairs Committee, and they were grilling them. And I was looking at them, all these senators that I see them, I said, yeah, everybody will be senator because the perks that come with the job, and all this stuff. And then in Liberia too, what some of the benefits they give the people, you live in the country, then they pay you for
your house.
paying for stay, your generator, paying. I mean, you know, and if you want to cut down cost, because I mean, if I know if California want to cut down cost, everything out of the back, so you can't be paying people rent like the central bank people. One of them, I was told that prior to that group, there were groups that were there before making $87,000 a year, including house rent, including different benefits, and then the poor people suffering. Like bro.
But let me tell you this. The legislative body of Liberia, remember they are only mandatory to work 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
Yeah.
And they get 6
They
months.
do other stuff during the course of the week, though.
Listen, they are mandated by law to be there twice a week.
Yeah.
They're supposed to meet and do this, do that. Do you?
No, they have section twice a week.
Listen,
and they do
man.
community stuff, you know, the rest of the other week.
Listen,
weekdays.
I have had people. I have a house. Most of these folks here in Florida, when it's all be on agriculture, something called agricultural break. I don't know what that is, so I know what I'm talking about. But here we are. Tomalin just has a job. Gay has a job. I have a job.
Oh yeah, I'm on a break right now.
If your boss calls you back and say we need you here, you got to come in.
My radio right here.
You on an obligation to come in. In Liberia, the guys are saying if the president calls me back for an extra sitting, they got to pay me what, $20,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 for the day for the extra sitting. Can you imagine? The president has an emergency. The nation has an emergency. And you call him back, these guys who are supposed to be on the clock, and they're telling you, you have to pay me either a whole month's salary or half a month's salary for something they call legislative sitting. And they go to the Farmington Hotel or wherever and live lavishly for the few hours they're going to be there.
1026.
And
the room number.
So, I mean, Tomalin, there is the reason why nobody wants to be engineer, doctor, whatever. Because how much does the doctor make in Liberia? I think President we have increased the pay to about $2,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
The most is about $24,000. Engineer make what, $500 a month. So it makes sense. You are not incentivizing the private sector to be attractive. Okay, so you are giving somebody, let's say, when I listen to the president of the central bank, okay, if I wanted a job now for any president, I would say, you know what, send me to the central bank, $57,000 a month.
No, 60.
$60,000, whatever.
We get $5,000 a month for you. Times 12. That's
yeah, there you go.
$60,000.
So we're talking about close to $1 million. Why would I want to be doctor or be engineer when I can make $57,000 a month in central bank? All I need is have the connection. When Tomalin became president of Liberia, appoint me to the central bank. I said that.
Guys, I beg you, just for a few minutes, let us just divert a little bit. I have on the line Liberia most celebrated soccer star James Salins Adiba.
Oh, Deba.
In the perspective of the game today, and we can ask no questions about the game. First of all, my question to you, welcome, Mr. Diba, welcome. Yeah, good to have you. Thank you for taking your time, man. It's late in Liberia, but we just gave a few your time.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but first of all, how was the game today? What's your assessment of the game today with Tunisia?
Well, the game today we lost. But in terms of the structure, in terms of the system of play, we are improving. But you know, a loss is a loss. You know, you can't say, "Oh, we accumulated 3 points." We lost the game, which of course is. I mean, this was a mandatory game. We should have won this game. Mandatorily, we should have won this game in order to carry the 10 points.
Wow.
We'll play against a team that is well experienced. You see, our problem now is the finishing. The circulation of the ball is good. The movement of the players, is good. or the finishing. We're not scoring goals. In order to win competition or to win games, you have to score goals. I mean, yeah, we're not scoring. We're not scoring.
But what's stopping you from?
Sorry to say about.
But what's stopping you from scoring goals? What's the why are we not finishing touches? Why are we not scoring goals?
Well, the struggles we have, they are not, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't think they have been consistent, I would say. Yeah, the struggles, our struggles will have to step up. If we have to win games, they have to step up.
But okay.
And another thing,
go ahead.
Thing I noticed, another thing I noticed in the game today, we were playing with no urgency. Everybody circulating the ball. I mean, the transition from the defense to the midfield was very slow. I mean, we were playing like nothing at stake. Oh. The circulation was very slow, very slow. For somebody who urgently needed, for a team that needed mandatory 3 points, we played like, I mean, nothing was at stake.
Okay, but let me, before Mr. Gamer and Anthony comes in, but Mr. Diba, you play the game and you play at the highest level. But so what's it? Sir. People ask the question, what's the and also too to your credit, you were one of the most, I think so far on record, the most successful coach for the Lone Star. During your tenure as Lone Star coach, you won a lot of games. You really took Liberia to another level. But the difference is, when you play the game, you and Josh, all you guys, Christopher Ray, all the guys. What a difference between you guys today, yesterday, and the young players today. Like that Liberia is still struggling.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say they're not passionate enough because a lot of them are not playing professional football. And yeah, in professional football, you got. I mean, to be a professional footballer, you have to be a superstar. You have to be a superstar to reach at that level. You know, I mean, a professional footballer is zenith. I mean, you reach that helm of football. But I mean, it's surprising because I mean, I don't see that replicating in the field on the field. We're not playing the professional players. We have professional players, but I mean, look at for what I said previously. Look at the attackers. Look at the ineptitude of the attackers we have. We not even how many chances we have in the game today? We have 2 chances. The entire game, 2 chances.
Wow.
The strikers will have to step up, man. Our strikers will have to step up.
Wow. That's a given.
Yeah. It's sad, Tomalin, because look, this. I mean, we got this far. We accumulated 7 points from the game play. We needed today's game.
Wow.
We needed today's game. Yes. And we have been very fortunate with Tunisia. I mean, I don't know. It just, man, it's hard to explain, man.
It's a given.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah. Mr. Diba, thank you very much for your service to the country. We're here. We're a Miami Heat fan. When LeBron James were here, Bosh. We were riding high. Now since LeBron and Bosh and Dwayne Wade left, we're on a drought. So this is a circular thing that happens everywhere. My question to you is
sure.
What is it that we are doing for not an immediate success? 5 years from now, are we developing strikers? What is it that we are doing to remedy this problem? Not today, not tomorrow. I'm talking about maybe 2 or 5 years from now.
You're talking about, the distant future.
Yes.
Yeah, Chief, we started the process. You know, I was called on board. FIFA got this program called scouting program. Basically, what we're doing is scouting under 15, under 17, under 20 players. I said my former coach, Arsene Wenger, is the head of that program. And he just elected me. I mean, he just appointed me as part of the scouting program. Yeah. So yes, we will be competitive in the next 5 years. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but I will be real competitive in the next 5 years. This team we have now, that team will gradually will improve. They will reach that level, but it's a process. It's not going to be a quick fix. Our people got to be patient. This team we have now, it's good. But gradually they will reach that level. It's a young team. With the same thing, even the George Weah 11 team today that has been hailed as perhaps the best national team. The structure, the formation of that team started way back. And gradually we gel. It will take time. Those things don't happen overnight. It will take time. We have to be patient.
Yeah, but you know,
when you say that, the people say, "Oh, I will be patient." The people, I mean, we have to be patient. This is a young thing.
You know, but you know, earlier before you call, we're talking about the game, and most of us here, like Jerome, myself, other people that are on the platform, who watch you play. We're privileged to watch you play in Liberia and so forth. But I mean, and some things that the description people gave you guys, they said Diba made football difficult. When he playing football, he makes it look difficult, and John, we are making it look easy. Because you guys, I don't know what you guys was extra or just extra, because like we watched big games. Like remember the game with I think it was.
I agree.
But so what? The question is, what's stopping the children today? I mean, because why are you telling them when you talk to the young players? What do you tell them? Tell them, because I'm sure they're watching some of your videos. What do you tell them?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a different generation, man, my brother. It's a different generation. I don't know if they lack the passion, because first and foremost, before you excel in this game, you have to have the passion. You got to be passionate about it, then you will definitely excel. It's a different. I mean, what is surprising that the game has evolved. The people watching television, they see all the major, the Premier League, La Liga. I mean, but yeah,
wow.
The network.
Somebody calling in, yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Wow.
Monday, yes. That game is a must-win game.
Yeah,
it's a must-win game.
We play the same team on Monday?
No, playing South Tomé Principe.
Oh, in Liberia?
Yeah, in Liberia on Monday.
So
we have to win that game.
So right now, where are we on this table? Where are we right now?
We I think we third. If I'm not mistaken, we third. We have 7 points accumulated from all the games. Tunisia is not 13 points.
Wow.
They had 10. Yeah, the one today, they got 13 points. You know, it's crazy because this is only one team coming out. This is the World Cup qualifier.
Oh my God.
Only one. The first, only one.
So we already been to Tunisia to play?
No, I think this is the first leg, if I'm not mistaken. We still got to go to Tunisia to play. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. Real complicated.
The people say the people are fasting or they play. The people are fasting. The people are fasting and still be.
No, but that is a highly technical team. Tunisia, I mean, it's highly technical.
So all the players, most of the players playing in a top league.
Yeah, I think they got 4 or 5 players playing away. But even their league, their national league is far better than ours. Their national league is far better than ours.
Wow.
It's hard, Chief. It's hard. Let me admit, it's hard. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, Coach.
You have to be patient.
Coach, another thing that I saw on TV today, I know Liberia, they politicize everything. The issue at the LFA today, Chief, you saw what happened at the LFA. I don't know.
That was yesterday, right?
Yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday.
All of these things
where the rank sacked the building. That is wrong. That is completely wrong.
All of these things have an impact on the psyche of people.
Exactly.
People don't take these things into account, but it has a social psychology. I mean, you talk about
it does. Yes, definitely, it does.
But there was
I had never seen that before. Never.
But there was a play today, right?
Very much unprecedented.
There was a play today. I don't know. There was a play today. A play that I think I saw. I think Eugene sent it to me. I think so, yeah. Where people calling for a penalty. You think it was a penalty? Was a penalty for Liberia where they?
Which one? The one. I think it was a handball in the surface.
Yeah, a handball. Yeah, but you think it was a penalty?
Yeah, that should have been a penalty. But the referee decision is.
So there was no VAR to replay.
VAR where Liberia?
Liberia, yeah. And that's what they have to have it for.
From what I read, there are only 2 countries on the continent, that Egypt and Morocco, that has VAR. Nobody else has.
On the continent, right?
Yes, on the entire continent. That's what I read.
Exactly. Imagine that only 2 countries. So
the African combination of free Africa, they didn't have it there.
No.
But Diba, you like I said earlier, you are successful with the national team. Now your brother Kojo is there. Are you helping him? I mean, are you guys giving? Are you assisting Kobe? I mean,
I feel the practices. Mostly, I think I have to be frequent now because I have to do some work with the attackers. Yeah, I have to be frequent because I mean we all in it. We're all in it. This is comfort first.
Yeah, man. Once see the next Diba and Josh Weah, man. The way you guys score goals back in the days, man. Look,
I know, man.
I know.
I mean, Liberians when we guys were playing, Liberians like why you should do right and Anthony and Jerome, why should I live in Duboro? I will not go on the field on the 2 other guys when they arrive. I will say when they arrive, I start going on feet. By the time they say the player arrived in town, I go on the field because we knew that we were getting results, and they will come. Like there was a game you play.
The program that we have formulated, the program will yield fruits. We'll get players there. We'll get players that will be far better than James Diba and George Weah.
Wow, that's a good one. Happy to get that.
I mean, just the other day I was in Saniquili and I got in Saniquili I scouted 13 players.
Look at that.
13 young players. I mean, with the quality I saw, man, in the next 5-7 years, these will be superstars.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's a good news.
Trust me. I'm telling you something. If I say they make it play, they make it play. Because I know what good players are.
Wow. Yeah, you can identify talent.
In the next 7 years.
So, Coach Diba,
Chief, I'm not posting. I know quality players. I'm not posting.
Oh no, you play again the highest level. So I mean, when you say this, I believe it.
I brought Oscar Dollar. When I brought Oscar Dollar, by the way, to the small ball for the boy. Come on, look at Oscar Dollar. He's now our superstar.
Oh really?
He's the best Liberian player not playing abroad.
What he plays right now?
He plays the Czech Republic. I mean,
look at that.
I think he's supposed to be moving over to the Premier League.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, I mean he's very good. The lad is good. Ball handling, he's good.
So, Coach Diba, while we have you on here tonight, I know you have a positive, a mindset of Liberia in the next 5 years. Do you guys have the resources? Because of one of the reasons why y'all the We Are 11, what you were part of, the reason why you guys were successful, you had the support, you had the resources, and you have the passion for the game and other nuances that come with that. Currently, as we speak, no politics. Let's put politics aside. Do you have the resources required for the young men to be developed?
Well, for me, for the program I'm heading, yes, it's been sponsored by FIFA, definitely. So the resources are there.
Okay.
It's been funded by FIFA. Yeah, definitely it's from FIFA.
Okay. Great. And another thing,
they just started the program. I think only 4 or 5 countries thus far. It's Liberia, I think Benin, we got Mali and 2 other countries. Yes. Yes, it's well funded. It's well funded.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy to get that. That's
good. Good to hear because people don't know.
Coming from there, no, it's well funded.
That's good. That's good.
First of all, I want to say thank you for you don't have to do this, but you chose to do it. So you already gave your service to the nation.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah,
you already gave your service to the nation.
I hope you got time to talk about that program. That program you talk about.
Definitely. Anytime you call me, I'll come.
Yes, we'd love for you to talk more about that program, about the program that FIFA working with you on. We're happy to.
Okay, Chief. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's the voice of James Diba, one of Liberia's greatest soccer player.
That man will put the ball in the touch, my man.
Yeah, man,
that'll play on the touch.
These guys are.
I'm happy the news are hearing about our FIFA program. I'm excited, that I'm happy that. He said the next 5 years and the good thing about it that you said.
That's a very good time
about government. FIFA sponsoring it, so FIFA will put onto it. They won't just. At the end of the day, I hope we see, like you said, we may see the next players who will be better than the George Weah and the George James Diba. I pray for that day, I pray for it to happen. I pray for to see that day.
It's possible. The fact that he's involved in the He's doing the right thing. They're scouting young talent. That's the first place, and then developing them, sponsoring them, mentoring them.
But
you say to get the highest level, he's the best person to come to this game.
We talked about the counter meet earlier, right?
Yeah.
You heard what he said?
He went Sanico and 13
you
players.
know, Sanico had no potential 7. If he went
13.
to 13, right?
He started at 13, yeah.
That's correct. If you went to Lofa, Bassa, Bong, I mean, just imagine, and then bringing these people together, okay, on a one roof where they can be in an academy, because most of our kids that learn the game, they don't even know the rules, okay? And this is why the academy does. It teaches you not just to score, but the rules.
Yep.
Okay? What is considered offside? Most of us think, offside is, you're way out there and nobody marking you. But when you watch a VR from the top, we saw in the Premier League, just the tip of your jersey.
That's
okay?
it.
Just the tip of your jersey. If it's on that line, nobody there, you offside. In your hand, your finger is out there. It's offside. So they got to learn how to beat the trap. They learn how to do all of these. These are things they learn from the academy. The young men that are playing for.
Well, do you agree with Fix Electronics? He said we will never see.
No.
Well, that's true. We will never. These people.
Those kind of talks.
Because look,
who had no, belief system or think that nothing positive can happen in Liberia ever.
No. They are right now, because look at the NFL. Let's look at the NBA, right? There will be no other LeBron James. There will be no other Michael Jordan, but they will be better in different areas that we never saw.
Did we ever envision a Steph Curry?
This is what we are saying. If you wouldn't talk about Michael Jordan, you will have never thought about Steph Curry. Nobody knew where he came from.
He changed the game tremendously.
For me personally, when NBA, look, my favorite player was Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, thank you.
I'm a player because when
Jordan, I watched Kobe from basketball from the bench all the way to the end of the career.
But the George Weahs of the world, these are generational talent. Nobody can replicate what he has done, but the other people will change the game in other ways. Okay, that we will like Silencer, right? Silencer never played like George Weah, but people. I was in Newark when the Dubois USA guys went to Liberia.
Yeah.
And after Anderson King called me and said, Jerome, I like George Weah. He said, but when you talk about entertainment, there is a kid they call Silencer Diva.
Yeah. Weah was the entertainment.
When that kid gets on the field, it's straight entertainment. So you see how they are different?
I mean,
even when they went to South Africa for 1996 African Cup of Nations, he did something similar in South Africa, 1996.
No, but the two of them, right? I grew up watching these guys play, right? Look, and like he said, the people, the passion. I don't think the children got a passion like how the guys had a passion.
Yeah, the passion is not there.
Yeah, imagine now. I just tell you, we will play a game in the European League, and he will play the game. They will put him on a channel floor to come Liberia. He will come Liberia, and he will train the team because the team have been training, right? He will come and he will get on the field and and they were so passionate to the extent when Liberia is leading, he will go to the defense and play defense because you want to protect the lead, And he and Diba also play, man. Look, I know you're not there, the game, man. That was the time, I think that was Operation Blast Egypt. Yes. Well, I think Diba, I think that he chest. Yeah, that Malawi. He chest the ball and drop on Weah, and we are just they say, oh man, look, these guys, and honestly, I agree with
two of them really gel together.
When I think we'll see these guys again, I don't see it because he guy was extraordinary. Just Weah, the thing that man, that ball did, that ball, he would have won the world best twice.
The second time, yeah.
That guy
before they even gave it to the original Ronaldo, yep.
And I don't think we'll ever see it. I don't think we'll see it.
Ronaldo the monk.
It's like you see the NBA now. They are looking for who is going to replace
LeBron
James and all of that. So there's a drought, and somebody else is going to come out and pick it up. The George Weahs of the world.
But the game of NBA too have changed a lot. It's kind of soft now.
No, listen.
It's
You
soft.
see,
That when Charles Barkley was
Tomalin,
playing,
this young man was in the 80s and 90s, right? People like Weir and Silencer, they had nothing else. There were no competing interests. Now we got social media, we got all of these things that are distracting these kids. Back then,
and that's why I give it to them.
The only thing they had to do was just soccer. These guys were concentrated on nothing but soccer. When I was in Newark, when these boys come to play over the holiday, when Joe Weir and these guys come to play in New Jersey, just like you said, the pickup games. Yeah. The Haitian League in East Orange, New Jersey, when these guys come. The whole New Jersey, the Haitian, the Africans, everybody knew who George Weir were. And they would be there.
Playing Ivory Coast.
There you go. But
yeah,
now,
Africa.
Listen, the kids got different medium of exchange. They got this.
But give me before we go back to our politics, our talk. Let me say this though. I'll tell you the truth, right? Like you said, though, I agree. The guys are playing today. I don't think they're committed to it. But if I know that if I play hard, I will get a better contract because I will make and mind you, during the kind of football that we are and Diba play in Europe today, if you compare to today, they will have been making more than 100 million contract with a sign. Imagine. I mean, look at George.
Yeah, no, we didn't get the kind of money.
He played for AC Milan, played for AS Monaco, played for the Paris Saint-Germain, all this team.
Yeah.
And imagine.
And I career with my team Chelsea.
Yeah, you see, but and yet and still, but today they are playing even social media. You guys, because at the end of the day, you know that at the end of the day you retire, you want your livelihood, so you would have put everything into it. But the children there, I saw someone arriving for the game, right? And they're playing in these little leagues. So when they're arriving, they're bluffing. See, they come arrive. I watched a video of them for the game they played today. They were arriving in the country. Decided to be. I mean, they see the. I cannot wait. But bullshitting ain't. It's in my head if you were doing that stuff and kind of put it on the feet, and your problem you bluffing. But you come in there, you get and you bullshitting, bluffing, and you come. As Diba said, they wouldn't have 2 scoring chances today. I mean, can you imagine?
Because they were not creating the chances for themselves.
Yeah, but but we'll pray for like, bro.
But not only that too. That team that we hadn't played on, Diba didn't play on. They were really fit. They were physically fit. They could withstand a game. They could play 120-minute game, and they can still be active. Our team, once they hit halftime, after halftime, the Liberian current team, and I wish he had much time, but he said he's gonna come back on the show. What happened to these young players that they don't have stamina like these guys? During those days, we didn't have stamina. Diba has stamina. Diba played for Lyon. I mean, you could play 120-minute game. These young stuff today, right after halftime, they're done.
I tell you, my last word on the football, go out there. I asked President, we had our question. I said, what is different? And he told me, he said, you guys are not disciplined. The trainer is not disciplined. And to be frank with you, Chairman, look, I remember.
No, we are with the discipline.
We're still with the president. We're still before he became president. We're still with him, right? We sit up all night, just socializing. But guess what? He'll sit with you. You all will be together all night. But maybe around about 6 o'clock, that man will get up, and he gets up from bed. You see him taking he do for you. I said, the man you're up all night. Then he didn't break the man on his feet. He will do his jogging, his stuff. Then we play basketball. The last one was during the election. I remember that day we were with him from 6 to 11 o'clock in the evening to our main Ben and Kev. So after that, he said we'll play basketball in the morning. My man went home, right? He said, "Mama, you come for the game." One day, the first thing he did, he played Tiwatena with Costa. He beat Costa. He beat Ben Sanvee. Beat Kev. I said, "Man, I'm an era there." So we went to play the basketball. He got a team called Spartaco. He said, "Tomalin on my team. We'll play." Man, look, we played that basketball. I was a young man, who younger than the man, me and Kev. We played one game. After we won, I said, "Me, I don't know. I ever." That man played 3 games. I said, "What? 3 games played?" And he still want to play. But because he said, "Okay, you're keen on visiting," so let me sit down with your small ball. He was going to stay play. I mean, he's extra. I mean, the extra people, just, I don't know, but some people are just different. And imagine he's still exercising. But yeah, but that's some people are just different. But Okay, the chief executive officer of the WASH Commission he expressed disappointment in the manner he was treated today by the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission. George Yango, he was arrested today by the LACC in line with ongoing investigation. He told the media that they had understanding with the LACC to readjust his appearance due to an upcoming event planned by WASH Commission. He said he was surprised when the WASH LACC staff stormed with the police to take him to the LACC office on Wednesday. He said, but what are you thinking about him? He was arrested today. On the office, LACC have arresting powers. When today, he was accused of and arrested him and took him into custody. But what are your thoughts about it? You think you agree with him that he should have been treated the way he was treated?
For me, I didn't see any footage as to what he's claiming. He may say he was not treated fairly. We don't have any video footage to see that. But if he expressed his disappointment, they should look into that as an individual who expressed his disappointment. People have the right to express their disappointment in the way in which they were treated. I don't have much to the story. I'm just hearing it from you, and I'm not seeing any video footage to make any comment on that, Timothy.
Well, hopefully, like I said, this administration. Today, somebody from FOL called me, and he says, "Oh, okay, we see you on the closing argument." Then somebody said, "Yes." The other guy said, "Ali Kamara said he goes wherever they can bash Joseph Boyka. That's where he go. He said to go wherever they bash Joseph Boyka." He said he go wherever. He said anywhere they call him to bash Joseph Boyka, Mr. Gamer will be there. So I'm saying this to say, this administration has the expertise. When they say if they don't do anything right, they know how to create headlines to distract from whatever's happening. You heard the Deputy Minister of Information the last time. The police their back was against the wall. He came out and said, Gregory Coleman and this administration, this police director, this is the best police department we have ever had since 1847. And I said, Vanny Denson will be turning in his grave. For this man to say he's going to compare Gregory Coleman's administration to what we have on a Denstar and these guys, it's a joke. But guess what? It grabbed the headline. Sandoz said, Gregory Coleman, this administration, this police department, this police is the best police department that Liberia ever has since 1847. Because they're looking for headlines to distract. This guy, look at, we're talking about $22 million road fund, right? That Guinea admitted to stealing. Nobody arrested him. We saw an $8 million transfer from the bank to rescue another bank without the due process. Nobody arrested anybody. So this man, I don't know when he was hired, who hired him. I won't be surprised if he was a guy who was there from the Myean administration. If not, he might be the lowest hanging fruit that have no connection in the administration, and they want to use him as a guinea pig. Why will you go and target one person, go to his office? Not only did you go to the office, but they brought the whole police battalion with them to arrest him and make sure, and somebody wrote on it that said it would deter other folks. If the intent is to grab headline, then they won. But let's see how this thing holds up in court. Somebody questioned the LACC boss. All the cases you've been seeing that today you want to arrest someone, and their response was, Liberia does not have the capacity. We need a separate court so we can be able to do this. This is their excuse for saying we won't do our job because we do not have a separate court. So this is another headline, grabbing attention that they are seeking, and they did get it. I mean, it's all over the newspapers.
Well, tomorrow we'll discuss about LACC because the LCC will be sending us some information. So we'll be discussing the LCC tomorrow, but the cases that they have concluded and the ones they are already started to. We'll discuss them tomorrow. But guys in studio, let's talk about Chairman Berete. He did something today. After that, we end on the MPA, something about MPA. But if you guys got the
picture.
Honorable Berete, he donated 2 pickup to buy Encyclopedia Health Team today, I think. Yes. You can put it up a little bit and let us talk about it. That's good news for the people of Encyclopedia and BAM. Yeah. So
my picture now.
Yeah, my picture.
Yeah. There you go. Zoom. Can you zoom that picture?
The picture of the last bar man.
Show Honorable Musa Berete donated. I want to zoom that portion out.
It's right there.
And the reason why I don't blame you though. People can say you put your name there, but
thank you.
My personal money I'm using.
I want in the studio for doing that. Thank you very much. Yeah, keep it up there while we talk.
Yeah, if I use my personal money to do it, and then I'm government money, I'll put my name on it because the government's want to do it, right? They just want to do it, and then you put money in the budget for it too, and they will let them do it. But and now what he's doing to the whole NIMA legislative team now is like, okay, I'm taking my personal money to do these things. You guys should also follow suit or put money in the budget to put money for the government money to put it to do these things, because honestly, the distances between the health centers in Nima is not like how you can go to Stop and Shop or Price Right or Walmart. It's not how you're looking. Or in America, yeah, right now I think you get it after maybe 5 miles. You see a health place or a fireplace right here. Everywhere you get some late issue. But I want to congratulate Mr. Berete for this. The people of Encyclopedia and Encyclopedia and how do you call the place, and BAM. I mean, I think Encyclopedia and BAM. I think they are in good hands today to have this air conditioned brand new donation to help them with the health needs. And it's not in Monrovia. It's Encyclopedia Comprehensive. This is where he ran. This is where he's representing from, and to see it happen. I mean, we gave him praise for that, But guys, what are your thoughts about it? Y'all talk about it a little bit, then we can move on to the last one for the day.
Look, I worked 10 years with the United Way, and everything that everybody that gets money, whether it's buying car or doing anything, you have to have the logo of the United Way on that particular. If it's a building, you better have it on that building that says funded by United Way.
Yes.
Same way when I work for the Chamber of Commerce, everything that we purchase had to have that stamp on it. So if the government paid for this, they will tell you paid for by the Department of Transportation, the Department of Telecom. That's how it's supposed to be. If the gentleman is doing the government a favor and using his own money, he has the right to do that.
Of course.
If the government doesn't want to do that, say, take your car back, we will replace it with our own and we'll put our name on it. Until the government does that, Musa Berete has all right to publicize himself, do whatever he wants to do. Even if he want to put his picture on it. If you don't, you take it or leave it. So there's nothing wrong with that. If they say there's something unethical about it, it is not he. It is the government that is refusing. They build a clinic, build a hospital, and can't fund the hospital. And a private citizen is doing it. If Metal Steel had donated our car, it would have had Metal Steel on it.
Exactly.
So there's nothing unethical about it. We have to give the man kudos. That's what I think for him, because I've been there. I've been on the other side of the funding, and I know how it works. That's fact.
All right, Mr. Gilman. of my 10 years I spent with Comcast, 7 of those years I contributed directly to United Way, direct deposited out of my check.
Thank you.
So when you mentioned United Way, I was like, oh wow. So yeah, I contributed because they partnered with the company when I was there. The partner, I'm no longer there. But yeah, my 10 years I spent there, 7 of those years, I contributed because my first 3 years I was not even going to none of those meetings. I didn't care. But later on, somebody like, are you contributing to this? Like, no, what it's for? And then I started contributing. So yeah, my last remaining 7 years I contributed. Now let's get to the nitty gritty of the whole thing. Congratulations to Honorable Musa Berete for a kind gesture to his constituent in the people of Nima County. However, he is an elected government official. He's not a private citizen. He is a political leader of a newly formed political party of Liberia, and currently a representative of the Republic of Liberia representing District Number 7, Nima County. There's a clear distinction here. As a private citizen, granted, a picture or whatever you want to put there, fine. As an elected official and also a political leader of a new political party, no. And yes, why? Honorable Berete also is one of the recipients of the $100,000 that is in the national budget for legislative engagement. He has his own money. He's a businessman. He has his own money. Nobody is questioning his, his ability to being able to afford that vehicle. Whether or not he was going to be, in government, if he were to be in government or not, he still can afford those vehicles. My thing here is, when the sitting lawmaker engrave his name on a project or an equipment he purchased, or in this case, a vehicle with his name on it, it's a problem. He has a political party. He's a political leader. He also a representative of the country. Where do you draw the line? Is he a private citizen here today? A private citizen, government official here tomorrow? You cannot separate yourself from your current position at this present moment. You are who you are as long as you occupy that office.
I gotta push back on that 1 minute.
No, I know you will push back.
I'm coming because listen, I won't let you do this because Musa Berete was building bridges. He was solidifying his district. He was doing great stuff. Even the core government in his district. He was a sitting lawmaker when he went to Musa Berete, asked Musa Berete for help. And Musa Berete went to Koka's district to do some major work. I'm talking about before the man became representatives, he was doing great things. Everybody knows that. So this is no different, Mr. Chief.
Yeah, but let me come in, right? But let me ask Anthony.
Okay,
so
you're coming. I'll
come in. So
I can take your question.
You representing your district, and
yes,
you go to caucus. You say you put money in the budget for our district, and our people don't have means of getting around, and now they and how to call it, and then so you say, oh, and they say prioritizing something different, but then you say, well, I'm taking my personal funds to do it for my people, because if I'm waiting for a government, waiting for this, for them to allocate money to do these things, I don't think my people will have it. So I should wait because I want to be politically correct now. I should wait and say, well, until they provide money, before my people will have means of getting to the hospital. You see pregnant women still walking, going to for vaccination, going walking hours, 3 days to go there. Wait for them, but it will be politically incorrect. You think
no.
So, but then so we expect.
So let me answer the question now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, kind gesture, brilliant, bravo, congratulations for being far-sighted and investing the money into the people, engraving your name
Yeah. My own money.
Engraving your name. Hold
My
on.
own money.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hold on now. Brilliant idea. Great. The people you represent, granted. Engraving your name. Let's go to the commercialization of that. He's commercializing himself. All right. He's advertising himself. Oh, every time that vehicle drive by, it's a free commercial.
But the politics.
Think about it now.
Anthony,
Hold on.
Yeah, but you
every
remember
time
that
the vehicle drive by, it's an ethical issue because he's in the position as a lawmaker. If he was a private citizen, no qualm.
My question
is an elected official.
I agree, but
his name is engraved on the vehicle.
I agree. My question is
he's using his political office to commercialize himself, to advertise himself out there.
And Gamer just told you, and I'm a witness to it. Prior to he becoming elected, okay, there was a bridge. Let me tell you now.
I saw the bridge. We congratulated on the bridge.
No, there was a water that divided the two cities for many years. And they had one old stuff, what they call it? One old, or what they call the stuff, man? How they call it thing?
Barry?
Yeah. That President Bogart, they say President Bogart he donated to the people there. And we experienced it, right? We got on our stuff before they can move. You got to hold it first. Do it. Then when it gets more straight, and then that straight in the hallway, we just rouse over there. He said no. He took it upon himself. He one day he would help here in family. Took it and said, look, I will build a bridge for the people. He built a bridge. So tell me now, and I say he did it because he joined me there. No, he did it and he built it. He could have lost that election. He could have won it. But he said, whether I win or not, I will do it. So and my man,
Tomalin, let me ask you this question.
The problem, and there's a problem. People can say, Liberian politics, all politics is local. Liberian politics is different from how we run election in America. It's different. In Liberia, if people don't see tangible thing, that's what I'll tell you. Look at my friend Johnny who on the show. Johnny, he's a man who is honest, who I know if he's elected, he will do he'll impact people's lives. But when Johnny now tell him say what he would do and tell him how he will do it, what to do to him? You think he say, or he not talk, or he leave me off. So in order to change them, you gotta go. I mean, if you got the wealth, you do it. But if they say he didn't have the money, he will not do it. You got the money, so come on, brother.
So Tomalin, I don't want to blow my own horn, but I was the first person who put free Wi-Fi at the community college in Granger. Free Wi-Fi.
What evidence?
I can send you documents so you can share it.
Yes,
I can send you video. I can send you video. Video when we're presented. No, I just want evidence, right? Talk. No, it's not just talk, right? I will send you the video so you can see it. Okay. But here's the thing. I'm not against responsibility helping the people. When you in power, remember he was on the show and I said, and he did not answer that question I did. I said, why can't they introduce a 2% sales tax on all alcoholic beverage and tobacco products in Liberia so that money can be strictly for healthcare and education? An escrow account, every alcoholic beverage in the country and tobacco product, a 2% sales tax on that. All right? The same way they have the sales tax on gasoline for the road fund, they can do that. That will buy more ambulances for almost all the counties than just one district. Granted, it's idea of giving 2 vehicles for now that you cannot buy all the other vehicles. That's a brilliant idea. But because he is a sitting lawmaker, engraving his name on the vehicle donated by him that will be circulated around is an advertisement for him as every time that vehicle goes back.
Of course.
Okay. So here's the reason why it's not good. And then the reason why it's not good is because he holds a political office. Hold on, let me finish. He holds a political office. And because he holds a political office, he cannot use his office from his office. How do he profitize? The vehicle carries his name, benefit his political ambition. That's profiting from it. So you are there to service the people. You are not there to commercialize your office. If he were to be a private citizen, I have zero problem with that.
Anthony, your choice of words now, you say commercializing. The man gave free, then he say commercializing, he getting profit from it?
Yes. Advertising is commercializing. Go check it out. When you advertise, you commercialize.
Well, Anthony, if you get money, if you can now.
Again, he
but
is
listen to me
a
now.
sitting lawmaker. If this man was a private citizen, I would say zero word. Nada. He is a sitting lawmaker, a person of power, a person of influence.
But listen now.
I'm just saying, we got
I agree, but listen now.
Liberian people of this thing.
Let me get an example, right? Why you think, okay, listen to me carefully now. Why you think people can be saying, oh, well, when the comments are running, the comments have been on there. Why the comments do this, do what? Why? Because the perception of the guys that, oh, the comments are been on here, so it's trying to bid this one, bid that one. But even though the comments have done a lot of stuff, I know he
done a lot.
He has done, right? Okay. I mean, but and perhaps maybe that reason why the people that
you will go to be the generator.
I know that one very well. But you think, but I can tell you now, do you think perhaps the community maybe he changed strategy and he gave contribution or something, and then with the people and they know that it's coming from him? People, because some people mindset is that, oh, the man get money, but he do nothing for all. That the master some poor guy, okay, and it's affecting him, okay, because our people are not so physical to the extent where to know that by putting my nails on it. But if you do it with your personal funds, like for you and your family, I mean, I would do the same thing, brother. If I running for election and I give the school to him, I give you a bus, I put my name on it. What the guy talking? My name on it. So the master, I beg the guy. The politics is local. What running, brother?
Look, I don't know where this young man is coming from, and I'm going to be waiting for him to come back. Those of us who are into everything else, when you talk about retirement in this country, right? Everybody talking about putting my money into retirement, into 401k. The gentleman who brought the idea about tax-free investment, his name was William Ruff. So that he named the bill after himself, and they call it Ruff IRA. Anybody who got into investment, where if you get money, you have a choice of putting your money into Ruff IRA, not a 401k investment. You can do this. Why do you think they call it Ruff? If for the gentleman to know, for the world to know that Mr. Gay.
Yes.
I know you are familiar with the Ruff IRA.
Yes, I have it.
You have it. There you go. Do you know Mr. Ruff?
Come on, man. What Ruff IRA has to do with...
How about this one?
What? Do you have problem with the name? No, I do not.
So, but what different from this one than the one?
But not only that. Here he hanging himself.
You agree with Sylvester?
Mr. Ruff.
Let me explain.
No, but listen to this now. Let
me explain the difference. Let me explain the difference here.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a political ambition, and I want to be on record because I'm going to run 2029 to become senator if I'm fortunate.
Okay.
So I want to be on a record here. The scholarship is now mounted. The scholarship is now mounted out there on vehicle everywhere, right? What this scholarship is, there are criteria set, right? There are criteria set. If you meet this criteria for this scholarship, you apply, you go to it. What that vehicle is doing is a healthcare vehicle that's supposed to take care of patients. But the vehicle has musability. Every time the vehicle drive by, that musability, the people see. They don't see healthcare. They see musability. That's commercializing. Look, the man is a businessman and he understands business. Don't come tell me this. I chose politics because I know I want to serve. I don't need politics to survive.
Mr.
I have a career in IT.
Mr. Gay, you have not answered my question. You have not answered my question.
This man has a political future.
Mr. Gay,
you have not every day.
You have not answered my question.
What is the question?
Everybody in the world that invests in America, that invests in tax-free investment, 401k, name it after a gentleman by the name of William Ruff. He put his name on it. That was free advertisement. Everybody agreed to it. It was a great job done. And today he's dead and you're still using his name. Free advertisement. It is legal. It is the right thing to do. You got to praise it. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And he has to do it.
So then the correlation now. This man occupies an elected office. He's not a private citizen.
So
I'm a private citizen.
So William Ruff. William Ruff was senator from Delaware. He was a citizen.
Investing into a Roth IRA has nothing to do with occupying government space.
He was a government official that introduced a bill and he put his name on the bill. Named the bill after himself.
Mr. Gaiman, let's go back to the basics.
That's what we're saying.
Honorable
Musa put his name
leader of the CMC.
Now the CMC part heading the mail.
No, it's not heading
let Anthony sit there. Zopena will buy boss and in Grand Jet during the election. He put any money and you get money, you swear in there and you do it. The money and see what do you win. You come out and say,
look, Timothy. First of all, I'm a strategist. I'm not gonna sit here and brag. The result out of Grand Jet County 2029, by God's grace, if I'm still alive, would tell is the difference. Okay? If I'm still alive, by the grace of God. But I can tell you for a fact, Zopenu have had his opportunity, have had his time. He's been there for over 18 years. And all you know how to do is buy baby toys for people. That's his investment.
And Gaiman, I told my friend Emmanuel Yato, I told him, I said, Yato, I'll come to people, you're not going to win election. Because I saw it. I said, Bill Towe is a household name in River Sets.
That's right.
Bill Towe, he invested in River Sets a lot. Whether he this and that, the people believe in him. The people see his name on stuff then there. And I
look, somebody, nothing wrong.
You can't compare. You can't compare the people to play America here with the one in Nigeria.
I said the same thing when Joseph Poetni on the ambulance. I said the same thing.
It's my personal money.
Occupy a government office. You cannot do those things.
My only thing is that
just check the code of conduct. If I think I'm lying,
there's nothing, no rules about what rules. There are rules to say you can't put it there in election.
Yes.
Where? I beg you, man. Stop it.
Listen,
Timothy,
look, we own a public platform. We're on
I take my personal money.
I can tell you this. Listen here. Only in Liberia, you find these things happening.
I'll tell you, but I'll tell you.
That's what you said.
Because it's bad. It's not because it's a good thing. It's a bad thing. I applaud Honorable Musa Belete for giving that kind gesture to the people. It's not just going to save the people of District Number 7. Any other Liberian who having to find themselves in that district at that moment, this vehicle will service you. That is that's a great investment. But guess what? What do you need? Look, you build a bridge. You put Musa Belete on the other thing. You put Musa Belete on the why you put Musa Belete on the one carrying
I got my check. I still got a copy of that check.
Anthony, start talking like you just Benny politics.
Look. You talking about a convicted fellow who
and now guess what? In the post ran for the voted for him. Man, come on, that talk.
Does that make it right?
Oh man,
does it make it right? I'm talking about truth here. Does it make it right?
Anthony, if you say he was taking Liberian taxpayer money and just
look, this man said he would do things differently. That he would do things differently.
Yeah,
and so we have to hold him to that account that he would do things differently.
Money. That for his business he's doing.
You using your public office to commercialize yourself.
No, I disagree with you. No, because because
publicity is what?
He did his project in office. No man, stop it, man. I don't do that.
Publicity is not commercial.
Anthony,
listen, man.
Stopping you. You got personal money, go do it.
Listen,
Tomalin, it is not right.
Ain't right?
It's not a right thing for the lawmaker to do. He is a sitting lawmaker.
Okay.
If
So,
he's
let me ask you.
wearing, I'm
is
saying this thing. I want to be on record. If he's wearing a sitting lawmaker, I won't say a jack to this matter. It's a great investment to the people, not just the people of District Number 7. If I find myself like the way Lofa in Nimakande right now, God forbid somebody happen to Lofa in that area, let's say we go help Lofa. It may be me, it may be you, or any other person. But once you in government office, there's certain thing you cannot do. One of them is this one.
Well, you can't do it, right? We are
You
personal
can't
money.
put his name on it.
Personal property, personal money. They're not government. No, I expect with you.
Listen here. The man took $100,000. The man accept $100,000 as a regulated.
Before you close, I want you to look at this.
What?
You see what that is?
I can see it clear from here.
Okay. This is.
It's ambulance, right?
Yeah. No, listen. The representative from Grand Bassa County visited me and wanted me to use my connection to get not a regular ambulance but a rescue truck.
Yeah.
From the state here, and I did. This is one of the biggest rescue trucks that you will find. Guess what he did?
He put his name and picture on it.
Put his picture, put everything on it, and
this is wrong too.
Listen. It is not wrong in Liberia. It is not wrong even here for people to donate.
People accept it, so it's not
Listen,
wrong.
in the United States, whoever donate has their name, the organization name will be there.
Organization name, yes.
But I just told you that Rob William wrote a bill and put his name on it, and it's stuck. It went into law. You cannot use the 401k Rob IRA without using his name. It's PR for the rest of his life.
Let me ask you this question. The 401k thing you're talking about, the Roth IRA, because 401k that does not automatically mean Roth IRA.
Okay,
let's talk about the Roth IRA.
Piece of it. You can choose that, yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Roth IRA. So the Roth IRA is a financial investment that people, private citizens, invest into. Right? Do you see the sitting president or the sitting lawmaker in America investing into that?
That's not the point here. The point here is the
gentleman
wrote the bill. He wrote the bill. The bill passed both houses, and he named it after himself.
Why you let the do bad thing? This man promised that he would do things differently in Liberia.
Chief Tomalin,
this man
has a personal beef with
No, I don't.
I think has a personal beef.
Anthony sit there.
Hold on.
You get money. You get money.
We are not saying you didn't respect him. You respect. We know this.
I respect him. I have so much respect for him.
But
that doesn't mean
Liberia, different country, brother.
And it's not ethically correct, and the optics itself is bad.
I will have a problem with him.
He's a decent man. He's a family man. He stood on my political leader. I mean, he did a lot of great things in Liberia and continue to do.
We'll have a problem in our taxpayer money.
He's an employer in Liberia. He has hired many Liberians. He has created many jobs for Liberians. He continued to employ people. Look, I give it up to him for all of his hard work. This one, and honorable ability, no personal negativity in my mind for you. I meant it from my heart.
You won't take it that way, but just honestly,
I want you to understand that you occupy a government office. By you engraving your name, you are using your government influence.
Of course.
You are using your government influence, and that is prohibited.
No, it's not.
So
no, it is prohibited by the code of conduct. Anything you do in your office that benefits you, individually or politically.
Anthony, prior to him being elected, when I went to Sake PA, I saw vehicles that he donated to the place with him on it.
Yes. Okay? At that time, he could have.
What difference?
At that time, he could have.
Listen, man.
Man, look, let me
I'm
talk
telling you,
that people minutes.
We have a healthcare in America called Obamacare. Everybody uses Obama. Everybody uses Obamacare, right? Obamacare is a medical bill that everybody uses. Whoever went to sue Obama and say why you call it Obamacare or why did people call it
It's
Obamacare?
not called Obamacare.
Well,
it got pseudo by that's a pseudo name. It's not
everybody
called
know. We know
it's called the Affordable Care Act.
Obamacare. It's an Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare.
Yeah, but it's the name, not Obamacare.
Timberland George, this man is in denial.
Don't mind it, guy. Let you say how you win.
This man did it to benefit politically. It's a political investment. Let's see it as it is. I'm just saying though.
I repeat, if
I love you, Honorable Benedict. You're a great guy.
Liberian taxpayer money to do it,
I just
money to do it. I have a problem with that.
As it is.
Using your personal money, my man, my money I work hard for, I put money on Sunday.
But this is an investment.
Yeah,
what's wrong with investing? What's wrong with investing? You better start investing now.
I am investing. What are you talking about?
Okay, good.
You money off. And then look,
Tomalin, you will be the one wanting to have an interview. Say, oh, our man used to be on the show, yo. My beginning used to be on the show.
I love your passion for Liberia. I would love to support you. I will support your endeavors. I want to see you in the legislature so that if the truth between you is open, I'll take it what's open any day. So I will because
thank you.
But if I just that if you win election and you got resources, you identify with the people got to remember you. They say that
absolutely.
The man using his proximity to you here to get free over. You using your proximity to Tomalin George, and you getting free advertisement here. You getting free advertisement because you using your connection with Tomalin George. They should send you a bill.
I've got a radio station too.
Chief, you should send him a bill. He getting free advertisement here. That Zopen is not getting. He getting free advertisement because he knows you. So yeah, you go talk about corruption. You corrupted the system right here.
Look,
guys.
That's
already ran a time, but tomorrow we'll continue with the LCC, and then something came out today with the I got some information here concerning the MD for the Freeport. They said there was a document that employment of individuals. They say these people earn not less than $2,000 a month. The question are who are these people? They are accusing him of employing these people on tribal basis, and also another person who they said that her educational background they don't commensurate with the position she holds, but she earning $2,500 a month. So I reached out to him already too, and hopefully we'll see what happens. But we will definitely look into it tomorrow. The MD for the port and also the issue with the LCC. I spoke with the LCC boss, and she's also emailed me some stuff concerning the cases. Hopefully, I will get it tomorrow before the show, and we can discuss it. Plus the issue concerning the MD for the port. He may be accused of playing the tribal games. I don't know, but we'll reach out to them I'll do our due diligence to get from them, and we'll see from there. But so far, it's been a good show. And again, let me make this appeal. Like we said again, we have a motorbike. Somebody promised another motorbike. Hopefully, we'll get it too. We'll love it. Mr. Jerome get a very good suggestion for us to go into the counties. Right now, our focus is the Nima election. We want to make sure that we are covered in the Nima election to get the guys on the ground there. Again, it will cost they need accommodation. They need to be there, but at least they can move around. Somebody already, Mr. Port already promised to give us a gas to help us to get it started. Thank you, Mr. Gay. I made a commitment.
Hey, can you do that thing on the Zelle? Because I don't have cash out. Apple Pay or Zelle. I don't have cash out.
Okay, yeah. So I want to thank you for your contribution, and then to get the motorbike on the road, make sure the guys the motorbike is registered and get all the police stuff so that they won't say, "Oh, you're talking about people being acting on the law, but you're doing rally, that motorbike and I'm registered, you're paying taxi, so it won't be caught on all of this stuff." So we're asking anybody help us we appreciate it. And going to our pocket, they're going to the guys are helping the guys and are doing it in Liberia. You guys are up and down. Right now, everybody excited for the Nima election. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. And let me just make clarification. Today, there was a news going around about Madam Edith Gongloe where she had an interview at OKFM. While she was there, she had to cut short the interview, or not because of anything. Somebody had wrongly said that her car was involved in an accident, but when we want to find out it wasn't her car looked like her car, but it wasn't her car. So she wasn't. Ms. Ware is okay. From what I gathered, she's okay, and her car wasn't involved in any accident. That was the wrong message she got to show the fact that she cut on the interview just to make sure that said children were hit. So took upon herself to go there quick to see what happened, and took that. Some people will say, well, they will do the interview stay, but she left right away and went there to take care of that business. So that's what happened. But she's okay from what I'm gathering from her team. So, guys, anybody who can help to get our motorbike on the road. Right now, we got a motorbike. We can't put it on the road right now. So we got to make sure we register it, make sure we got everything on it so we can get it on the road. And then Nima election is April 22nd. Today is tomorrow, the first day of spring. Thank God. First day of spring tomorrow. Thank God. At least come and get rid of the cold. Tomorrow, the first day of spring. We're happy for it. And, but we look forward to see what happened tomorrow. And also, we'll be reaching Mr. Senator Snow too. We'll see what happened with our case, the public minister and so forth. Whether Snow will resign, the man come and say the guy is below the amount. We'll see. But Mr. Gaiman, give your closing and I hear from you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I want to also appeal. I'm from the United Way now. So when it comes to fundraising and all that stuff, that's how, when you get that link every day, you want to see the closing argument. It's easier when you sit home and just click on it and you see Tomalin, you see other folks. But like we always say, somebody got to keep the lights on. They got staff that need to be paid, bills that need to be met. Nobody making profit here. I think Mr. George is transparent enough that every dime you send, he's going to have a ledger. Your name is going to be on it, how much you pay, when you pay. So it'll be transparent. But for us to keep great shows like this on the air, you don't know what these people go through. I just come and sit here. You just watch. But these guys have to pay staff. You see Hot FM 107.9 carrying this. They are up all night transmitting. Somebody has to pay for the gas. Somebody has to pay staff. So yeah, your general contribution would do well. And definitely, the campaign in Nima has generated so much interest. It is in our interest that we have someone on the ground 24/7 until that election, to the day where it will be announced the winner. We don't want to lose any time in between for them to create the atmosphere they say. You want to have the closing argument, men and women on the ground, going everywhere. They shouldn't stop because they ran out of gas or all of that. Their phone died and all that. We want to give them not only the phone, but the portable charger that will give them power 24/7 if need be. All of these things require money. If you work into a store and you have a power charger that can be used for iPhone, if you want to send that into, that's fine. At the United, we call it in-kind donation, something that you don't have cash, but you have it. If you can purchase that on your credit card and send it to Tomalin George, that will be fine. Anything you can. If you got a phone, iPhone that you want to donate, it will be usable down there. That's fine. Anything electronic that can be used will be fine. Cash is preferable because they can pay staff, they can do other stuff. But Honorable George, thank you very much. I think I will be doing my own contribution as well. A time permit we have. You say April, when is the election?
April 22nd.
Okay. And when are they opening it up for? Are they officially open now for campaigning?
Well, they just gave the provisional list of candidates and so forth, and they will be, I think, NSC having a press conference, I think, next week or so.
Good.
So hopefully everything will be opened up. It will be a tough election. Everybody will be on the ground campaigning and so forth. Like Mr. Gaiman said, if somebody if you're in a state, maybe you're in Texas, you're in Florida, you're in Maryland, wherever, and somebody going to Liberia, you say, look, take this parcel, carry to the. I will tell the guys I'll tell Georgie then I send something for the closing argument guys there. You tell us that, we'll tell you to give it to that person on the ground for them to charge their phone, to do a lot of stuff and so forth. I mean, it's not an easy thing, you know. The guys are getting credit or they're up and down because some of them they shun them, and most of the time I'm at work, I will get a call. So they person won't let us enter. They said because we talk against them yesterday, I'll get on the phone with the people. Oh, so our people should be and sanction. You want sanction us or what? We can't talk. The guy, so we can't sing praises to you guys. Oh no, and we'll get it going. Like that. Do the president sooner. The guy was there. He was being so arrogant. He won't even give us accreditation. It took somebody from the majority black to say, he said, and the other person used the tag to enter to go there, and that's what happened. So I mean, it's like I will say again. I repeat, I'm not for nobody. I'm for Liberian people. When it comes to 2029, when that time comes, we'll take up. But right now, from now to that point, I'm for nobody. I'm for the closing argument and for the Liberian people. Anybody you from, whether you from CDC, from ANC, from UP, from LPP, you guys are welcome to come and make your case here and so forth. We are open. The platform is open to everyone. Come and make your case. You can be critical or whatever they give. One, you do respect and civility, no problem, you know. Welcome. But the idea, we want to make the platform to be, we're not going to, like yesterday, the issue we talked about what Johnny brought about, and we talk about, we're looking for time to really go into that social issue in the country, to go to the nitty-gritty of our country, in the rural area. Sooner or later, we have people there helping us to bring the news up, you know. It's good for the country. See, today we talk about football and all. Talk about Lone Star, and I like how we do it. We can you know, go all over the place. And good thing, Mr. Gamer, when I like about you're a historian. You got a lot of stuff then that's good to have you know a lot of stuff that you can bring to the discourse, and it makes sense, you know. And when you're talking about this stuff then that happened back in the day, I mean, it's good to hear these things, you know, and to understand how these things work. And some people today, I tell somebody, I say, oh my man. Like I saw a picture today. Liberians, I watched the Senate interview, testimony the other day with the foreign minister. I saw a picture today. Liberians were in the rain. I think they were online to get the US visa. And to be frank with you, the whole Liberians are treated for a visa. I think it got to change because you can't treat. I mean, we understand we're a small country, but yet and still. You can't put our people in the ring because they won't get visa, so you want to keep them in the ring to get a visa. And then sometimes when people go for a visa, I mean, the way they treat them. On a serious note, some people, not everybody want to stay in America. Some people want to come there to do what they can, to see relative or attend funeral or whatever the case, and go right back. Okay, yeah, some people overstay and so forth, but at the same time too, that they be respected, you know. Hopefully, Liberia will be able to make a case to the U.S. people, tell us, look, this is what this is what we want. We work together with you guys, you know, and so forth. Yeah, Peabody is in Liberia, Sylvester. He's there with missions, and he got to go in the interior. You know, Peabody will not announce because for everything again. That's one thing. The man going in the interior, he can't announce when he going because of security reason. Because you sit on and you critical, you know, so you got to make sure that. So when he going to on a noon counter tomorrow, he going to tomorrow to carry on his work, and then after he take care of his mission, and most of the parents you see that they're not here today, they are at work. It's not an easy thing. Like Gaming was saying, it's not an easy thing. You know, my daughter was telling me, "So we gotta go do some grocery shopping," and I said, "Mom, let me just finish." And she said, "I know you want to show up. For now, we'll go do it tonight." You see, so that's what all the things we go through the sacrifice. Well, if you say you haven't show people calling your phone, oh no show. Also, you know, and I mean, I was surprised yesterday. Some top person in the former government called me and we're talking, and I was happy that I was sure it's being watched. People watch the show, you know, and they appreciate it, you know. But again, like I said, we have to do it, make sacrifice to do it for people, and that's how it is. But I appreciate you, Mr. Gamer. I appreciate you a whole lot. Thank you so much. and you bring a lot of good perspective to the show, and we're happy for that. And wherever you, I always give you that kudos, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Abu S. Kamara. I know Abu fasting, so Abu not regular because he's fasting, and again Abu too. Abu is fasting. Abu, so but whenever you see him make it way here, and people can be attacking Abu. But look, I tell people, Abu is a Unity Party partisan. He's a diehard partisan. Abu will come on the show and can't be defending CDC, ANC, and other people.
The best saluting everything. That's good.
He said, I'm unapologetic about my defense of my ruling. So that's how important it is. So
Abu salute. Abu salute.
You can attack Abu against Abu will just say, hey, son, before you can get it. So they heavy attack being Abu here. But again, he's a responsible man. He's married, he got children. So now people got to address him too. Not because you see enough one, but he's a respectable man. I've seen him like Liberia. I've seen his family. He got his wife, his children, and he's a responsible young man. So, but that's how life is, man. But guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. As usual, when they're covering the event, they need scratch cards. So if we can buy scratch card, they will take it too. It's very important. The scratch card thing is serious for journalists in Liberia. Like Mr. Tomalin.
Shout out to Lofa. Lofa in Liberia. Lofa, take care of yourself. We wish you well, Lofa. And it's a sacrifice too. Lofa he left his job, he left his children, his family to be in Liberia. And he paid his own way to go there and to be there. And then while you're in that country, you can't know it. You pay for your own place you stay in.
Oh, yeah.
You pay for the car you're driving. And you got to do everything for yourself. And people live in the States, they expect you to give. And so when the people make that way, that sacrifice and go Liberia, give them credit. I salute Lofa for being there. I salute him because Peabody, I salute them. And at the same time, they got a multitask, So that's it. I shall be in Liberia too, March 11th. But and Dada said no. Take care of take care of your food before you go there. I said, okay.
That's right.
I will go to Liberia this year. I will definitely be there soon. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
God bless. Tomorrow.
Guys, good night, people. Again, Lone Star, I'm sorry. We lost to Tunisia today. 1-0. Again, pray for Liberia. Diba told us something today. I'm happy I heard from Diba. FIFA has a program that they call him to help in that program. And he said in the next 5 years, we have a very good national, we have some great talents there. So I'm happy to hear that and look forward to seeing what will happen in the next 5 years. But again, thank you, Brian.